Yeah.
Yep.
Get voiced and get moist. Welcome to a surprise bonus episode of the FriYAY Moist cast. And joining me tonight on this special episode of the Moist cast is a man that is from small town Indiana, out where there is a lot of corn and a lot of flat land. A man with a shitload of wiener dogs. It is the one, the super fan, Adam Shawhan.
Hey, yo! Happy to be here, Master Moist. Thank you for having me.
And glad that you are here. And also joining me tonight is a man who claims to be a rookie, but he is no longer a rookie. If you look at his 3-part trilogy, one of those videos is almost an hour long, 58 minutes to be exact. It is the man that claims to be the rookie, but no, he is at least a sophomore. He is the one, the only, the rookie critic.
Oh, heck yeah, man. I'm feeling dry and I need some moisture, and I think I know where to go. And that's where you come in, buddy.
And that's exactly why we're here. And talking to you right now through the interwebs is your host from the comment section of World Class Bullshitters to the newly branded Moist Visions Inc. for FKA Brandon Moist channel. It is I, the Moist. And joining us out of the fourth corner, it is a man who is very proper. So we will give him a proper introduction. He is a nice person who is the leader of the Army of Jeremys. He is the president of the Council of Jeremys and hosted the first Council of Jeremys on his YouTube channel. It is Proper Jeremy.
Hello there.
All right, so we just threw you right into it, Proper here. So
Yeah, that was a perfect transition.
I saw out of the corner of my eye because I have my computer on my right side. Usually it's on my left. I saw it, and I'm like, I think Proper's in here, so we're gonna roll with it.
That was seamless.
Yeah. DJD. Damn it. Sorry that your internet is still down. And Tad the Tech Man, who will be a crucial part of Moist Visions Inc., is in the chat. Thanks for joining. And everybody else out there watching here or in the future, thanks for joining in on this special episode of the FriYAY Moist cast. Joining me is a couple members from the Senate, which usually streams tonight about this time on Sith Kryptonian's channel. Keep an eye on your Twitters, and I think either tomorrow they will be trying to have a Senate. So hopefully...
No, they're canceling this week.
Oh, it's canceled this week then?
Yeah. Sith needs some sleep.
So, all righty. So, well, since there will be no Senate, the Moist will keep the Senate open. Unlike our federal government, I will keep the Senate open, and I will keep at least 2 members employed, as in Proper and Rookie. So, I don't have a paycheck for you guys. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
But
it's okay. You can buy me a beer at Celebration.
Yeah, I can do that. So, speaking of beer, I am drinking a Natural Light right now. It's not the best, not top quality beer, but it was cheap. So
again,
it was cheap. I'm drinking it out of a very nice glass, if that means anything.
It's okay.
If you want it to, it means massive.
Yes. So, and so tonight we're gonna do a couple things a little different. What we're gonna do is we're going to have our standard just kind of bullshit around like we always do for the first half hour or so. And then we're going to do a first segment that will be recurring at least once a month. And that will be called Toy Story. And Toy Stories is going to be myself. I will turn my webcam on, and I will be building a Lego set. It's a small one, so it won't take forever. But I'll be building a Lego set live on air. So anybody in the chat or in the Hangouts here wants to guess what I'm doing while I'm building it. And it's a Star Wars Lego set, I will say that. I also have a shot poured, so if you guess the correct Lego set, I will take the shot for you in your honor. But yeah, so we're going to do that, and we're going to talk toys while we're building the Lego set. So that's going to be something new, and we're going to do a kind of a create your own entertainment segment of like how would you want to do entertainment. And then we'll bullshit the night away as usual. So getting started, I think I was glad to see World Class Bullshitters back again last night. And you know, that made my workday go a lot faster. And with the Tears of Soy, as what their episode is called, to make sure you guys check that out. Superfan, you're having some problems with them dogs there, man.
It's the one, man. He's just so happy to hear you. He's like, let him out of the speaker. He's pulling that Aussie shit. He's in behind the speaker, and I hear him, and I want to get him out so we can play. And oddly enough, it is Oscar that's doing it. So with all the news with the Oscars doing what they're doing, of course, Oscar is going to be a pain in the ass tonight.
That was something I was going to bring up too. Thank you. I forgot about the Golden Globes leading to the Oscars, the prelude to the Oscars. But so what we're going to do, we're going to get started out here with an article that I had read. I'm not going to share it on the screen. I don't think I need to read it, but it was a Screen Rant article. So as we all know, you know, take that with a grain of salt. But they had a list of 25 new pieces of Star Wars content that we're going to be getting in 2019, and I'm pretty sure I don't need to tell you a few of them, like The Mandalorian, Episode 9 or Plan 9, and the Clone Wars miniseries that's coming back. But what I had noticed is that the rest of them were very heavily prequel focused, most of them being comic books. There was I think it was a Jango Fett, an Obi-Wan and Anakin, a Master and Apprentice, and the Master and Apprentice was going to be Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon. So there's a little Phantom Menace throwback, and we also had a Mace Windu comic, I believe. So what do you guys think about Star Wars, like kind of retracing itself back to the prequels? Do you think that this is a lead up to something that we might see in the last, or I'll say the last shot, Plan 9? Or do you think that this is just kind of trying to rehash relations with the fans, trying to amend relations and bring some fans back into the fold?
I would say that, yeah, it's them just trying to make up some of the lost money plus everybody they pissed off. So that's my opinion.
Say Proper and Rookie?
You go first, Proper.
Sorry, there was something with my roommate. What was the question again? I'm sorry about that.
No problem. So what I was going to say is there's most of the new content coming out this year, aside from the major stuff, the Mandalorian,
right,
is heavily prequel focused, especially in the comics and the novels.
Interesting.
Yeah, so there's Jango Fett, Mace Windu, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan and Anakin.
And you were asking if it was pandering?
Yeah, do you think it's pandering? Yeah, do you think it's pandering? You know, they're trying to win more money back.
Well, I don't know if it's pandering or winning more money back. It's just, I don't know, perhaps expanding on the universe, but, you know, a little earlier, I guess, to a better time in Star Wars. I don't know for sure, but I think all of it is an attempt to make money, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. I mean,
anything they come out with, like, that's the point.
Yeah, it is the business. I mean, they're trying to make money. But and I like what you brought up there. It's not, you know, it's not necessarily something to be pessimistic about. You know, I in fact, when I saw that they're going to have an Anakin Skywalker comic, I'm like, oh, that's cool. I like that. You know, that's something that's something with the Star Wars community that we would have liked to see more of the Clone Wars.
Yeah, exactly. The whole point of the prequels, I think, should have focused a little bit more on the Clone Wars, maybe a little bit with the amount of talk that Obi-Wan
probably started there.
Yeah. I mean, it's great.
The end of the Phantom Menace.
Yeah, it's great that we got that end, like with Darth Maul and everything. But at the same time, it would have been nice if it picked up the pace just a little bit more, and maybe Anakin would be older and all that. But you know what? What's done is done, and I mean that's it. And all you can do is really expand on it, and that's why I kind of, you know, I like the idea of the Clone Wars. I haven't seen most of it. I really hated the first couple of episodes, but I've been told it gets better, so maybe my opinion will change over time. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, it is frustrating in the beginning, and especially looking at you can look up how you're supposed to properly watch Clone Wars. Didn't even think about that. That was pretty cool. But Rookie, what do you think about all of this? Kind of harken back to the prequel series.
Well, I mean, I'm surprised they made it a comic book because, you know, I don't know. I'm still baffled that they make comics, to be honest. But I think I'm of the mind that, like, I was like, oh, they still make those things, like, about a year ago, and then I was like, oh, with the Comicsgate stuff, I'm like, oh wow, they still go, but it's more interesting than you would think. But with the prequel stuff, as far as it like affecting the movies and whatnot, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I don't know if Lucasfilm themselves or any of the people in there has been as vocal lately with what they've been saying about fans. So I think most of all it's been from articles lately. Ryan Johnson probably says what he says and whatever, but they've been pretty quiet. So they could be trying to ease their way back into our laps. Like, be settled in again. Like, okay, look, we're good. Remember, we're cute. We can do this. We're adorable. We can, I don't know, we can get your attention somehow and throw in some prequel stuff here and there. So, I mean, if they do it, that's fine. I mean, I don't really know if I don't think it'll lead into anything, but they're trying to see if we bite. So that's all I can really say about it.
Yeah, I think that's a good take, and that really just seeing what we're gonna, if we'll bite on it. And Hallmark Channel Jeremy, see you there in the chat. Jon Snow does not bark; he actually meows. And Tad Tech Man, Jon Snow is my cat's name. For those of you who don't know, Jon Snow is actually walking over to my table right now. And when I actually turn the live camera on or webcam on in a short bit to build the Lego set and have Toy Stories, maybe he'll make an appearance. I hope not, because I don't want him to eat any of these Legos. But Proper Jeremy, looks like your escaped friend has joined us as well.
Oh, seriously? Well, welcome to the chat. I know it's you, rookie. Just let it go.
The appendix?
Yeah.
Which one?
Which appendix? There's more than one appendix?
I mean, what you count?
Wait, I don't know.
I will consider it made whenever I find that I have a parody account out there, but I feel like it's hard to parody Moist.
It's already.
I mean, it already is its own thing. So.
Yeah. Interesting change of the channel name, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a suggestion that Tad the Tech Man there in the chat. Him and I had a pretty long tech session about what the name should be, and we had a few different ideas, and then we figured, let's do something that we can cut down into a really quick 3-letter acronym. So MVI, Moist Visions Inc. And the reason, I'll go into this here right now. The reason why we changed the channel from Brandon Moist, just my name, I want to expand the channel to be just beyond focusing on just Star Wars content and just movie reviews and stuff. So I know Tad the Tech Man, he's going to be helping a lot with the gaming. If you see, he already threw a gaming comment in there about the Clone Wars on PS2 and GameCube in 2003 being underrated game. So you get tons of hot gaming takes with him and tech talks, is that what I'm going to call it. He really knows his shit when it comes to technology. Unlike me, I feel like I'm just the old man in the room trying to figure out how many USB plugs I have and things like that, or how to charge my damn laptop. But so aside from all that stuff, I'm going to be I live near a bunch of Civil War battlefields, and truthfully, my real big passion is Civil War history. So I'll be doing some live streams from those battlefields, giving some quick tours. So, if you're bored and you just, see I'm streaming or whatever, if you want a quick tour of just a different place, you can see it, and I'll give you a little history lesson of what happened, show you some cool monuments and different vistas, just show a little history. And I'll also go into some pop culture history doing that as well. So I'll talk I'd like to talk more about war movies and things like that. So just kind of doing Moist Visions Inc. to expand the scope of the channel, I guess to say. And so that's, that's the plan, what we're going to here. And I interrupt this Moist Visions message to bring you an announcement. We have a 5th guest in the chat right now, and that is Mr. Peabody. Welcome
Hello,
aboard.
everyone. How you going?
And there's another special guest that will be with us in 10 to 15 minutes, but I'm not going to tell you who it is. But you will find out very soon.
Okay.
You're welcome.
I'm excited to find out who this is.
I'm guessing Ivan Ortega or something. I don't know.
I don't do Ivan. Sorry, I don't know Ivan.
But we did manage to like.
Well, I am very excited to see this, and just a real random question. I should have asked this when we were off air. This is going to sound very bad to the listeners out there. At Dawn, hey, how you doing? Congrats on your first live stream. I saw you were doing that. I'll have to check the replay out on that. But congrats on your first live stream. Is there a way that when I'm like talking or say I'm sharing my screen or like talking like this that I could just keep it on me if I have my webcam on?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can lock your screen onto yourself.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Then we will get to that when the time comes. Okay. That will be a future me issue.
That'll actually be very helpful for me as well, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah. Let's just do that now before we get really rolling. Where is
your
that?
icon into little boxes?
But are you really going to do a
left
Lego build? That'd be cool. I'd like to see the Lego build.
Right, on the left?
Or no, so the little icon where your name is?
Yes.
Like where all we are?
Yeah.
On the bottom right. So you click on that and it should say like share screen or
present to everyone.
Present to everyone, exactly, yeah.
Oh, that's it. Okay. Oh, that's simple enough. So all right, sorry about that little intermission for a technical difficulty, but let's just let that be a moist lesson to everybody on Google Hangouts.
And for it to work though, like when you have the camera on, then they'll work. But since you don't have the camera on, it won't really do anything. So.
Yeah. I figure I'll do that once I have the camera on. So let's just let that be a moist lesson in technology. We are in the age of technology in the 21st century here. So what you have just learned is how to share your screen without it going, basically apeshit on you. And joining me now from Asgard, it is the father of Thor and Loki. It is Odin Movie Blog. Welcome, Odin. It's great to have you on here.
How's it going? It's very moist up in here.
He's back.
It's very moist in here, and we're going to be very shortly doing a segment called Toy Stories. I will be building a Lego set here live and having everybody try to guess what it is, and we'll be talking about toys. Nice. So we're going to mix it up here a little bit, but
glad you could join us, Odin, but this wasn't the special guest, even though I did invite him. There is still another special guest that will be appearing shortly.
Okay. Thank you for making Odin
of course, the man with the beard.
I feel I could jump off a little bit.
I feel I could give Odin a rival with the beard. Mine is a lot shorter. But it's well filled out, if I could say the least.
But can your beard handle a rose tico?
See, the thing is, I feel like Odin over there could. I feel like he could handle the rose tico, but
he did handle the rose tico.
I can handle the rose tico. Let me tell you.
Now, I don't like where this is going.
I meant the beard. Get your head out of the gutter, Lord.
I'm sorry, that was very improper of me.
It was very improper.
I do that a lot. That's the irony. I love it.
In front of the Lord Odin.
What's up, rookie?
We meet again, Odin.
Yes, indeed.
I like your chimney sweep hat.
Oh, thank you.
I was sort of half expecting Rookie to say, "When you left me, I was but the learner."
Yeah,
I was but the learner.
Like we meet again. When you left me, I was but the learner.
That would have suited it very well. You're right about that.
Only a master of evil.
I say, Odin, you're on Odin.
We just had a moment there. It was so special.
All right, so now that we have two special guests joining us with Mr. Peabody and Odin's Movie Blog, what I had just raised the question to my fellow Moist cast mates, I guess I'll call them, is that a lot of the new content coming out this year with Star Wars, aside from what we're seeing with obviously with Plan 9 and with The Mandalorian and everything, kind of harks back to the prequel series. And I was reading, I think it was a Screen Rant, so you can take that with a grain of salt if you'd like to. But it was that there's a lot of comic books and there's some novels coming out that are heavily prequel focused on Anakin Obi-Wan's relationship. There's one Master and Apprentice novel coming out, it's Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon. There's Jango Fett, Mace Windu. So do you think that's just a way to kind of, try to bring back some of the fan base before Episode 9? Or do you think it's like a genuine let's explore this era, since Disney does, there is the people want to know more about it, especially the Clone Wars, or pander, let's just get more money and build it back up before
pander. Like, no question about it. The fact that they also had a news article out today about how the creators of Resistance are saying, guys, don't worry, season 2 is going to have so many things for adults. And it's like, sure it is.
Right.
Yeah. And the fact, like, it just blows my mind that, whenever Resistance first premiered, it was like 10 o'clock at night. And it's like, okay, so if I have a child, I don't have a kid. I'm 25.
Yeah.
I don't have a kid, but I wouldn't have them up that late on a school night on a Sunday night when it's going to premiere. The only show I'd let them up that late for would be Game of Thrones, and if they're like 7 or 8, I'd prefer they don't watch that. But it's like, okay, are you really trying to do this for kids and just get them on kind of the replay and not get the live stats, or are you trying to market this for adults, but say, oh, this is really for kids, but subliminally you really mean for adults? So I haven't watched any of the Resistance stuff aside from just trailers, so I really can't comment on what what's going on with Resistance. Odin, Mr. Peabody, or have any of you guys watched any of the Resistance stuff?
I have. I've watched the first 3 episodes.
We are having a full house here tonight. Joining us, the man with the Death Star logo. It is the Mr. Pete channel.
Hey, Brandon, what's up?
What's up? How do I switch this back to just regular, like, it bounces back when people talk?
Because now it's just on Odin.
Oh, it is?
No.
Hi, everybody. Welcome.
You could have also clicked Odin.
I'm a star.
Well, all right, what do I do here?
Mama, look at me now.
Do you want to see people talking again?
Yeah.
Just click on your icon again. That's in the box.
Okay, there we go. All right, so forgive me, everybody in the chat. Odin, Mr. Peabody, Proper, everybody here.
Actually, I think it was just for you, to be honest.
I am learning the way of the YouTubes right now, and that is the reason I'm making this.
I'm a master at teaching the streaming, so just ask me anything when you come up. So,
and that is, and see, that's rookie. That's why you're not a rookie anymore. You are a. I'd say you're at least a sophomore by now.
Don't change the name.
Change it to Grandmaster.
That's why I do everything in one hit, because I can't edit for shit. If I don't get it in the first take, I have to do it all again.
I just recorded a video today, and I was so angry because I couldn't do it in one take. I was like, I might include it in the video. I was like, how the F do you people do this? How do you do it?
I was looking at my, just the general, how many videos I've made. And I'm like, I can't believe that I've done over 300 single takes. With only a couple of times there's been, but you see, the problem with the single take is that if one thing goes wrong, you got to do it all over again.
The show goes on. The show goes on.
Yeah, exactly. Where the audio has just shut off, and I'm like, the audio didn't record. No.
Oh yeah, no, I've done that.
And it's all ruined. It's all ruined. But actually, if I may, just real quick, Odin, I think one piece of advice that I really got from you was that, some things like work for others. Like, oh my God, it's lethal lightning. Oh dear Lord.
Oh my God, hide your alcohol. Hide your alcohol. It'll be missing. He can't.
We're all about to get pregnant on this stream.
Hey, what, you're telling me you're not pregnant already, being this moist?
I was close. I was really close.
No, what the hell? You told me there was a whole bunch of single ladies here. This is not at all what I was told.
Yeah, I got you, but it's okay. Thick fam forever, baby. I had to bring the Aussies in here, and we got to have I hope Master Moist is surprised.
Yeah, we got a load of people in here. This is awesome.
This is why the headphones that Odin bought me, that's not these ones, the ones that Odin bought me for my PlayStation, destroy these things. These are my cheapies.
Your cheapies? All right.
Yeah. I have been slowly investing into better recording technologies here. I got a webcam. I got to figure out how to make it work, though. That'll be future me's problem. But what I'm going to do now is we're going to do a little special segment called Toy Stories, and we're going to talk about, you know, some of your favorite toy memories, maybe growing up. What do you think of the state of the toy industry in 2019? Maybe some of your favorite toys you have now, or collectibles, whatever. While we're doing this, I'm going to get my computer set up. This is the where I need to figure out how to get the webcam to work. I'm going to be building a Lego set. And here's the deal. Guess what Lego set I'm building. And for you Brits out there, this is a London shot glass filled with horrible vodka. So if you can guess what Lego set I'm building, as I'm building it, I will tell you that it is a Star Wars Lego set. It's a little one. It's like 100 pieces, so it won't take terribly long. But if we want to get started, we can just kind of run down the line and talk about some of your favorite
X-Wing.
That's an A-Wing, I reckon.
It is not either of those.
B-Wing.
Nope. I'm going to get
every letter.
Is it an airspeeder?
T-Wing.
List of Star Wars Lego sets. Okay.
Airspeeder.
Nope.
It could be anything with Star Wars. Holy
Oh my
shit.
God, it's a pod racer.
It is not a pod racer.
Damn it.
No, it's definitely Wampa. Yeah.
Now here's the real
Is it really only 100 pieces?
Is it Jabba's sail barge?
No, it is not. It is,
100 pieces, Jabba sail barge. That'll do it.
there we go.
Well, there's too many pieces to be Luke disappearing on a boulder. And hello, Lethal. I'm so glad
Frank.
you make it.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Yeah,
We got quite a few people here.
Now would be the time if you're going to lock it on yourself for your Lego building.
I think, yep, it should be locked on me now.
We got
Is it
Moist,
I was
Peabody,
actually gonna lock
Odin.
myself so I could see.
I was going to say, yeah,
Mr.
and, while I'm
Pete,
building
Rookie.
it, as you may have, if you have questions or if you just want to talk about the toy industry, like if you want to go down the line and say some of your favorite Star Wars toys or just in general, Marvel.
I will say quickly, since I was definitely, I liked toys when I was younger, but I don't really have like a good memory when it comes to that. But I can say I had a late life joy brought to me by one man on this stream named Mr. Peabody, who has introduced so many classic and also beautiful modern toys that are not nearly as good as the classics into my life. So I would say my most prized possessions are definitely the original 1977 Chewbacca, a 1977 Han Solo. Prune Face, I think, might be my favorite because it's Prune Face. I mean,
Ryan Johnson.
And then, yeah, exactly, Ryan Johnson. And then Steve. Can't forget about Steve.
Steve's making a big comeback. He's going to have his own movie now.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And then, of course, you know, I got my Aussie Rose Tika up on the mic as well. So
Aussie Rose TK.
yeah.
What does that even sound like? Aussie Rose TK.
Oh, my name's Aussie Rose Tika. Nice to meet you.
No. Okay.
Hang on, you forgot.
It's enlightening. I heard you were looking for a single lady. I'm not quite taken yet, but
Nah, you got bloody Odin and EVS after you, and you know I don't like to cause rifts between friendships and bros before hoes. So
Kylo is gonna want her in episode 9. I'm telling you this right now.
Oh, Kylo's got nothing, man. You know, Kylo will be my girlfriend.
Well, Odin's Kylo is a bit submissive. You can see him bending over the mic stand there.
He's been bent over for like so long now. Like seriously, she like has it with.
And feel free to throw out some guesses as a building too, guys.
So you said it was 100 pieces exactly.
I think it's like 94, but
don't
no, give me an exact amount.
Star Destroyer.
it's not 92. It's not a Star Destroyer. Surprisingly, this might take a little research or really recalling back. Once I get about halfway through, I'll give a hint.
Can you give us a movie?
Is it an Assassin Droids Battle Pack? Ha!
1 or 2.
1 through 3, so it's prequel. So it's prequel.
It is prequel. Yes, prequel.
It's prequel.
It's a droid.
It's an acclimator.
It is not. No, it is not.
It's not. All right, it's a Venator then.
Oh, that's the
I
last.
reckon it's a V-wing.
No, it is not.
No.
I see that instruction booklet in the corner.
I'm thinking
but
a Republic Starfighter.
It is not Republic Starfighter.
No, it's not Naboo because that would be a different color.
Is it the
Here's
submarine?
a hint. I was actually going to get a Naboo Starfighter, but I did not because I figured
It's Maul Scimitar.
It's what?
Maul Scimitar.
That's it. Who guessed that? It was Lethal.
Lethal Lightning, of course. The sex machine.
Yo.
All right.
I don't even do it my top
Here's
buttons
the
anymore.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh, jeez.
No,
Brandon.
no, we got to see him grimace. We got to. Oh no, it's too late.
Hey, Brandon, check it out. I got the Starfighter.
That was a great guess, Lethal. I was literally like going on like list of Lego sets.
You see the part he's
Yeah.
holding now? The part he's holding now, the top of it. Oh, there's more. But the top part that he's built.
Yeah,
The
and the
second I
best
saw
part
that, I
is
was like,
this
that's the
Maul,
Scimitar.
it breaks apart, which is awesome.
Oh. Yeah,
Better than the
because
shit we had
cuts
back
him up
in the day when I was growing up with this. So I'm
what did
going
I
to build
have?
this here. And so, yeah, all right. So, I mean, I'm a big Lego fan, if you guys can't tell. Did you guys were you guys Legos fans growing up?
Oh, shit, yeah.
I
Yeah,
love
oh,
the
shit,
movie.
Yeah, the Lego movie's awesome.
I hate it. Oh my god, I hated the first Lego movie.
Oh,
Why?
Oh, I hated it when. Oh my god, when it got snubbed at the Oscars, I cheered because I was like, it didn't get nominated.
all right, well, here, please expand.
Basically, I just thought the story was bad. I thought it was boring
It's
as
a
hell,
Lego.
and it was awful.
bad.
Now,
It was boring. It was
That's it.
awful.
Lego movie was bad. Lego Batman was fantastic.
I did enjoy Lego Batman. That was good.
Lego Batman.
Lego
was
Batman was better.
Lego movie sucked. And
So Odin didn't think everything was awesome.
no, everything was not awesome. in my opinion.
It was awesome. No, Odin, no.
Maybe it was the
We
kid.
disagree on something vehemently. We disagree on something. Okay, now we have to talk about this. Why didn't you like it? Like, don't say like, oh, it's bad, it was awful, it was shitty. Like, yeah, of course, it was your opinion. You know, I get it.
Yeah.
But like, what about it?
Anyone that goes into a Lego movie looking for a story probably organizes their food by the Dewey Decimal System.
Well, it could be Odin might have an aversion to super glue. Could be.
Well, for me, I thought everything was not awesome. But I thought everything,
There it is. That's
Go
exactly
on.
what we were hoping you would say.
everything was okay for a bit, and then as soon as the animation style, I just could never get on board with. I know it was like, oh, but that's the Lego animation, but I don't like that kind of animation. It just bothers me. That's one of the reasons why I don't like the new Spider-Man animation, because it's just that jankety, like, oh my god, stop motion animation, and I hate it. I hate it. It's the reason why I couldn't give Spider-Man an A, Lethal, because the animation, I just couldn't take it. So that was one reason why and then as soon as Will Ferrell came on my screen, I didn't see the cast list beforehand, but as soon as like Will Ferrell, like actually real life Will Ferrell came on my screen, I was like, what?
That did throw me a curveball. That's probably my least favorite part of that whole movie.
And the kid actor was terrible, and it was just like, so it was overrated. It was also because it was overhyped, so I was expecting my life to be changed, and then when I saw it, I'm like,
Lego or Spider-Man?
Lego.
You're more of a Meccano guy.
Spider-Man, no. Spider-Man had a great story, great characters. All that stuff was fantastic. It was literally the just movement of the characters that I hated, because that stop motion just didn't work, in my opinion.
I've
Yeah,
seen
it was
people
like
call it,
jerky.
into the seizure verse. Are you one of them people?
Hmm?
Some people call it into the seizure verse.
Yeah, no. I mean, I feel like some people could get seizures from it. Like,
So what it comes down to is you didn't like the ending and you didn't think it looked pretty, or you don't really like stop motion, maybe. Like, and that's understandable. Like, I didn't like Chicken Run or Wallace and Gromit.
Oh, that's fine.
Crap. But I'm sorry. I know it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of time and effort, but it looks like shit every single time. Claymation. I'm not a big fan. Like, even like the old like Christmas
Kubo and the two
specials.
strings.
What was that?
Kubo and the two strings looks beautiful.
You think so?
Yes.
Kubo and the two strings.
Oh,
I'm
looks-
gonna have to look that
But
up.
that- That's stop-start motion style, though,
Yeah.
Kubo.
That's what I'm talking. Yeah, because that's what he said. He said he didn't like that. He didn't like claymation. And I said Kubo's claymation, and it's great.
Okay. I also hated The Nightmare Before Christmas. I thought it was.
Who said that?
Yeah.
Who said
Right
that?
there with
Sorry,
you.
sorry.
Right there with you.
That's
That
a dry
was-
take if I ever heard one.
That was improper.
I
Where's my belt?
don't
Are
care.
you
I don't
moist?
like
Are you moist enough for this?
I don't like his weird artistic crap. No, thank you. I know he's great BFFs with Johnny Depp. I don't care. I don't like him. Oh no, you're not getting it. No, thank you.
Right with you, proper. Right with you. I just don't know why people love it so much. I don't know.
That's why we have belts.
Oh hell.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you'll direct your attention here, I give you the Darth Maul Sith
Wow, man.
Infiltrator.
That looks
This
like it's
is
straight
nice.
out of the movie.
This isn't just used to tight pants. No, I'll leave it at that.
Oh my god, it's
That was
flying!
fast,
It's
too.
flying into my face. That's scary. Please stop.
It's just like it's straight out of the movie. It's incredible.
Oh, you have a little
I
Darth
like
Maul in there. That's so cute.
I am coming for your ticos.
No! No, you leave me alone! How dare you? Leave me alone!
All right. Well, guys, that was Toy Stories. We can continue talking toys and everything of it.
Now, speaking of a great movie, that's Toy Story. That's a
Yes. All right. Well, let's do it. Let's talk Toy Story. Now, before
Where's proper Jeremy gonna crap all over that too?
No, of course not.
Lord.
I love Toy
I do
Story.
have to give this a moist.
Not excited for Toy Story 4.
Now, I do have to give the Darth Maul Sith Infiltrator a rating here.
Yes, please do.
And we're gonna do a moist scale. It's gonna be, and I'd like everyone's intake on this. It's gonna go dry, damp, wet, and then full moisture. So what I'm gonna say is this Darth Maul is pretty awesome because the head here it comes off. I like that. That's good detail. I like attention to detail, and also the diversity or the flexibility of these things.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Diversity. I was gonna say
Diversity.
Diversity.
It changes
I get
second
is Darth
color.
Maul black. I'm not sure. I can't tell. He might be African American. I don't know. I don't know what their races are.
Assuming his gender? His gender? Oh my god, I was assuming. I apologize.
This person, this thing.
I assume. Well, he's half red, half black. Right?
This
So I'm
individual, thank you very much.
He identifies as a Mustafarian.
I enjoy it. I'm gonna say it makes me wet, not damp, because
Okay.
it's a microfighter. It's small, but it pays tribute to the actual thing that we see. Minus his head wouldn't stick out in space. That would just be impossible.
I think it would be the equivalent of mildew.
Yeah, you can. That's like the middle ground, I would say. So I'm gonna say it makes me wet, leaning wet, and mildew. So let's go down the line here: dry, damp, mildew, wet, or moist.
How about drowning?
No, that's a little too far. We'll save that for the
Okay.
we'll save that for the episode 9 toys.
I'd say slightly humid.
I've actually got a few critiques on it, if you don't mind.
I would say
Um,
Arizona desert.
I'd say damp. I mean, I don't like the color of it. It's not dark enough. Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
like.
too small.
That's for beer.
I don't like how there's no
Can't fly it
cockpit.
around the
There's
room.
no cockpit. I don't like how there's none of the, like the green lights that it has. It looks kind of greenish, like when he comes in, it's like, and you have like the green spotlights on it and all that. I don't like how it doesn't have that. I will agree that the actual mall itself looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like the diversity on the flaps.
The diversity.
But at the same time, I do have to say that it's only less than 100 pieces, so it's easy to build, and you could have fun with that. But when it comes to detail, I got to go damp.
Yeah, and that's what Riot Kitty also agrees with you. That it is damp. Caitlin, Keeper of the Jeremys, thinks it's a nice Lego ship. If you'd like to say what moist, damp, wet, or dry.
I just don't see the. It's just too small. I feel I don't think it gets the effect.
There's my hand, and
But I was just saying, like, I think that the effect of the ship is.
So size matters not means nothing to you.
I think no. It says size does mean something to me. Is what I'm trying to say.
People that say size doesn't matter are small.
All right.
I don't know.
Remove the mall. How does it look like without mall?
Yeah, maybe it's the mall sitting on top.
Yeah, take them all out.
That makes it worse.
But you take off Maul.
Yeah, I think it makes it better.
Yeah. Because Maul makes it look smaller than what it is.
So what? So in the movie, we see it kind of come in like this. Whoa! And then it like takes a turn and like.
Oh my god, guys! You're reminding me of my childhood.
You know?
Seriously, and I'm not gonna lie.
And then Maul comes out.
The fun fact about me and Legos. So it has not been since childhood that I've played with Legos and made sounds and things of that nature. However, my defense is that I work at a summer camp. And one of the things at summer camp with my group, and I had like 5 and 6 year olds. So one of the things that we did was Legos. And so we would build just these things. And to see their imagination, like in this generation where it's so like everything's so digitized and digital, that they still find one of their favorite things was, when are we going to go to the Lego room? Because they love to like build stuff. And it was just really cool to have that interaction with them. And like, I would build a spaceship and then they'd want to build a spaceship. And then like, they would like come up with powers and shields and all this stuff. But it was really fun be able to be a child again, like doing, oh, my force field's up, zoo, 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 and like just doing noises and stuff. It was great. Sorry, you just reminded me.
Yeah, no, honestly, no, I can completely back you up here. Today when I bought this Lego set at Walmart, all the toys, when I went,
he had to fight against 7 other kids to get that kit.
I'm not gonna lie, there were times when I got competitive with those kids. I was like, hey, are you using that? Yeah. No, you're not. I'm gonna take it. Thank you.
Oh, I had to body check like 2 kids just to grab this toy. Holy hell! I had to body check them. But no, they whenever I went into the toy section, the only section that was picked over was the Legos. I mean, there was like 6 or 7 Star Wars Lego sets left. And I was just like, holy shit. All right, I don't want to spend like $30 on one here. I'll be building the damn thing the whole night. I just want to do one I build in like 15 minutes. And no, it was this or a Naboo Starfighter. I'm like, that'd be way too easy for everybody to guess. And but then I went by the Star Wars regular section, the action figures and all that stuff, and like everything was there. And it made me sad. And it was filled with Kira's, Jyn Erso's, and there was a couple Poes that I had seen, and then a bunch of the black figures, like the Black series. So
I'm gonna real quickly just say, like, Odin, what you just said about the kids playing with Legos makes me very excited to be a parent someday.
Me too. I was like, yep, can't wait.
I mean, like, I'm not gonna look forward to like, changing their diapers and shit and all that crap.
The face that Lethal has on right now. He's like,
Nope.
Well, my youngest nephew, you give him a Lego kit with the instructions, and he throws the instructions away. He doesn't build anything. He just throws the pieces around the room. He has no idea what to do. He has no idea what to do with it. He's 8 years old. He still doesn't. It's like, and you sit there and show him. It's like, yeah, you put this piece on this, and he does. Oh no, fuck it. I'll just throw it.
I hope the 8-year-old's the one that's saying the F-bomb, because that would just make it even better.
Has to.
F it.
I think the only thing that I ever built with Legos was not from instructions, but like, I think it was sometime after 9/11. I built the 2 towers, and like one of them had like diagonal. No. Hear me out.
Taken in a lot of ways.
Hear me out.
Let's hear him out here.
No, I put the antenna on one and made it accurate, made them diagonal, and kept it on display. I didn't get super glue or anything, but I just kept it. I put it on a shelf. I don't know. I just really liked it. No, I wasn't going that direction. No, I'm being genuine. I actually did build that, built the antenna, and I just like kept it there until like it actually did get knocked over, and I was very upset about that. But I made it as tall as I could.
The Lego set.
No, there wasn't a Lego set. No, I just put a bunch of random Legos and just put them up.
No, I mean when the Legos got knocked over, right?
Of course, I was upset when the Legos got knocked over.
Okay,
I was too young. I was really too young.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get context. I'm just trying to get clear context.
That's a good thing. We are
he didn't have the right shape pieces to build
for
the
Jeremy,
tower, so he got upset.
He was upset when the Legos got knocked over.
Okay, thank you. I mean, I was
Yes,
like,
of course
okay.
I was upset when the Legos got knocked over.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's okay, Odin. Don't worry.
Good God, that damn
Yeah,
thing.
you got-
I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I scared everyone with that. I'm so sorry.
My heart is like racing. I don't know. Oh God. But getting back to
you know there was a happy ending. Well, no,
Oh my God. Oh my God.
no.
Make it worse, Proper. Stop. Proper, stop. You're making it worse.
Here we go. So
Taking it over. I used to build stuff like by myself too. So yes, what I would often do is I'd build whatever the instructions would say, and then I would like combine it with other things and just build like random other things and like build like custom made stuff. And that was my favorite part of doing it. So
no, when I was building Lego, this is how old this was. You got the big kit that was worth the money with lots and lots of bricks, but they didn't have the shaped bricks. They were just the square bricks, the rectangular bricks, and it was the basic bricks. You didn't even have windows. There was no windows. The windows came later. So yeah, I started with that stuff.
Nice. The OG.
Yes.
I had a lot of Bionicles. Those were pretty freaky things.
Oh yeah.
Like the gears moved and shit. I built a lot of them. And then eventually I started taking them apart and making my own ones. But I made them into like a Sith and Jedi where I put pieces together and instead of connecting the sword, I'd take the sword off. So it was like the lightsaber wasn't activated. And then when I was playing around with them, I'd stop what I was doing, grab the other one, plug it back in, and like, yeah, now it's activated. But like Craig in the chat, I also had a lot of Transformers. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's that fucking sound.
I had a lot of Transformers as well, and those were always really fun. A lot of Beast Wars Transformers, but I always played like Beast Wars was the bomb, man. I always played with, like Megatron, and yeah, I always favored like the Decepticons and shit like that. Man, my dad got a little bit worried at one stage. He was like, "Oh yeah, but you never want Optimus. You always want Starscream. You don't want Luke. You want Vader." He's like, "What the hell's wrong with this kid?"
But my favorite toy. What?
But you're asking about favorite toys. My favorite toy would have to be the Chewbacca, which is the brother to Odin's.
Yes.
But this is the difference between mine and yours, Odin. I played with this guy so much, you can do this with him.
Wait, I can't see what's going on.
He's loose.
Yeah.
Okay, he's loose. Okay, I got you.
He's had some mileage, that guy.
See, can we just all agree that Adam Shawhan's picture would be like the perfect profile picture right now?
Yeah, I think it would be too. I mean, Superfan Adam Shawhan, if you want to like screenshot that shit.
The thing is, that's not a picture. That's the live camera.
That's the live camera. Yeah, it's just sitting there pointing at you. You know, sometimes it'll give you the finger depending on what stream it's on. You know, usually DJD. I did this because I know how much Lethal likes it, but he doesn't ever know when I'm going to put the Joker in front of the camera. So it's kind of funny. And since I did get a couple guys on here to make Moist's evening awesome, I am very glad. And we've got Mr. Pete on here and the awesome rookie critic along with, of course, Proper Jeremy, which I had no part in bringing, but I did bring the rest of the crew. And when you go that far, you gotta have the Joker involved.
Yeah, I feel like you can just.
I agree.
No, usually my my go-to thing is once we get in the hangouts prior to going live, get the few people in, and I usually just say to Adam, I'm just like, hey, feel free to drop the hangout bomb out there. And no, Rookie, I don't think we haven't heard from you in a while.
I was going to ask, Rookie, are you live?
Rookie, no, I'm good. I was just trying not to talk over everybody. So
let's
God damn it, Rookie, your voice is just as important, if not more important than anyone else's.
I'd say the stage is yours, Rookie. Let's hear some about your favorite toys, or even just some of the favorite memories of, toys or I'll tell a lightsaber battle story whenever after you're done here. But let's hear some of your favorite toys and stuff.
Well, speaking of lightsaber battles, I mean, we had a trampoline growing up and still have it to this day. And I mean, my brother and I would get our plastic lightsabers and, have lightsaber fights over there trying to do the Geonosis battle and whatnot all the time around the yard. So that was always fun. I always played with toys hardcore. Like whenever I see kids play toys on TV, like with action figures, they would just like bang them together or something, and I'm like, what the hell are they doing? And I would like set all mine up with their weapons, their lightsabers, their guns. If we didn't have enough lightsabers to go around for the toys, my dad or mom would give us these little olive swords. You know, the little red and green or something. They have different ones that look like lightsabers, and if they fit in the hands, that's a lightsaber. And would set them all up and use, you know, I'd try to have actual little battles go on and little different stuff played out differently than in the movies and stuff. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I would mix the Star Wars ones with some of my Power Ranger ones because they're bigger scale or something, and just make a different thing out of it altogether. And I still have the Star Wars toys. My mom actually worked at the movie theater back when Star Wars was first coming out. So she has she used to have a bunch of stuff from back in the day, but she does still have a R2 and a Chewbacca from around the year that the movie came out. So yeah, that's some of my toy memories. So yeah.
Yeah, that is awesome. And I think, you know, even as maybe removed as some of us are, as, you know, from playing with toys, and just not collecting, it's you know, you can just think back and relax and remember all the great times you had. Now I am going to tell you a story of one of my favorite lightsaber battles that I had. I'm sure many of us here had a lightsaber battle at some point in their life.
I have slayed so many grandmasters and so many Sith who claim to complete the Sith narrative, man.
I took that high ground. So my friend that is going to be, as I had mentioned before, a big part of the channel, Tad the Tech Man. I'll add his link to the description below, then probably after the stream. But Tad the Tech Man, if you want to check him out on YouTube, he is one of my best friends. I grew up with him, and what we'd always do is either he'd go to my house or I'd go to his house, and we would just go and lightsaber fight for just hours and hours and hours until our parents told us, hey, go to bed. We'd go to bed, we'd wake up, grab the lightsabers, and just go at it again. So we're just beating the shit out of each other, basically, with lightsabers. And the thing is, like, we'd always make sure, hey, you get the Darth Maul lightsaber, because I'm a prequels kid, so it was like, all right, you get Darth Maul, I'll get Obi-Wan, and I'll get Qui-Gon, and then like we'd like let each other know on the bus ride home. He'd be like Tyler would be like, hey, okay, bring your Qui-Gon lightsaber today. Well, bring your Darth Maul one because that's the one you have, and I'll fight you with Obi-Wan maybe. And so like we would like plan it. It was awesome. It was like so like we had synchronized, like we're playing it. Well, I went to Tyler's house. Now, Tyler lived on a hill, and it was a very steep hill, and they had recently cleared that hill of trees, but the stumps were still there. So as young kids, you know, in late elementary school, early middle school or whatever, we are jumping from stump to stump, trying to fight each other, kind of like Anakin and Obi-Wan, or Darth Vader and Obi-Wan, in the lava river, how Anakin jumps on that droid, and Obi-Wan little platform. That was basically us on this hillside. And we would taunt each other. We would yell things like the Sith, like cussing out the Sith, cussing out the Jedi. And one day I failed to make my jump. Normally I would take the high ground, but one day I failed to. And that cost me a pretty big cut on my leg. And I actually still have the scar on it. And the best part was when my mom came to pick me up, Tyler's mom looked at my mom and says he didn't cry once. So I was very excited, didn't cry once. However, yeah, I lost that battle, but that's something I'll always remember because we would literally try to beat the piss out of each other with those lightsabers.
Yeah, I remember something similar. My parents were videotaping me and my cousin battling with lightsabers when we got it for Christmas or something, and I got mad at one point and chased him in the woods and beat him up with the lightsaber when I was like 9. I was like, oh, he was like, no, I got me the leg, no, just freaking out like that. And then one time he, I think it was the same day, he we were fighting him, and then he like lost his balance and like knocked over a coffee table on camera. I need to find that footage so bad, but I think my parents sent it to America's Funniest Home Videos, and I haven't seen it since.
Damn. Well,
Really
I said
sad about that.
Coach Millhouse in the chat there. Worth it. Yeah, it was fucking worth it. I can tell you that much.
It always is.
I attempted to take the high ground. At least I didn't get my legs cut off. I just took a cut to the knee, not an arrow to the knee.
But these days you can say, look, I've got this scar on my leg. That's from my lightsaber battle.
Yeah, it's like, how'd you get that scar? It's like, oh, I was in a fight or whatever. It's like, oh, well, I was in a fucking lightsaber battle, bitch. But
what you gonna do?
Oh yeah. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to step away for just a slight second to have my hourly piss, as I usually do on these streams. So I'm going to go right down the line here until I join back in about 20 seconds. Superfan Adam Shawhan, and then Lethal Lightning, and we'll go down the line from there. Tell us some of your favorite like play memories, like toy memories or whatever, whether it's Star Wars or whatever. It doesn't have to be a lightsaber battle, but just something that you really recall from your childhood or something you'll remember forever playing with a toy, or it could even be by yourself. Just, I had this awesome Army soldier battle, which I had many. So,
all right. Well, I mean, it's not like I don't kind of have a few things just sitting around here that are pretty awesome wise for collecting. You know, I always have to do this just to terrify Lethal just a little, because I know it makes him moist when we do this.
Very
along
moist.
with you know, the rest of the people that aren't expecting to see a 6-foot Joker pointing at them. Right now, I'm enjoying the newer Migos that I have picked up, just because, you know, who can't enjoy a little bit of Amigo?
Hey.
I was going to try to jump on the other channel and be able to walk around a little easier, but instead, you know, we'll just go this route. You got to have a little bit of fun when you have a Joker office. I mean, you just have to, and just for Lethal, you know. But yeah, I enjoy my collections. If it weren't for the dogs being in the way, I debated bringing out a couple lightsabers just for shits and giggles. But it's so much easier just to grab something off of one of my shelves to just show off of my fun stuff. But I have all kinds of stuff that I enjoy. Legos included in the background. You know, there is the Disney castle that's back there that was a whole lot of fun to build, and the helicarrier from Avengers. That was really a lot of fun to build. But yeah, that's just me. I've got a lot of collections and a lot of toys, and I enjoy putting them in the Joker's hands from time to time. I did that on one of Rookie's streams. He was, you know, at one point we had a Punisher flag hanging behind him, along with the Punisher doll and all kinds of stuff all over the place, action figures, you name it, it was there. But that would be me. I'll go ahead and pass it on to my mate from the Upside Down, the one, the only Lethal Lightning.
I feel like I should have a speech after that. I had a lot of. Do you remember Hot Wheels? I had a lot of Hot Wheels. They were cool. Building up the tracks and shit, making them doing loops and all that. That was amazing fun. But I had a lot of Lego. I had a lot of Star Wars figures. I used to make the space battles from their movies, except I'd always do it so the Empire won, because Rebels suck.
Yeah. Thank God I'm not the only one that thinks that.
I had them all in like their poses and their stances and shit. I used to make them fight and all that. My dad got involved when I was very young. He used to play with me and shit, and he would always have to be Luke or Optimus or someone like that, because I'd crack a massive hissy fit if I couldn't be Vader or Megatron. So yeah, that was always really cool. And then the big ones though was honestly just me and my cousin. We used to just do all types of crazy shit with just sticks, just like basic sticks, like you were saying before. Because we got a creek around here. It's about a 5-minute walk from here, man. We used to go down the creek and just, you know, like attack brown snakes with them and shit like that. You know, pretend it was like Jedi Padawan training. You know, attacking brown snakes. Probably not the smartest thing looking back. Probably not the smartest thing looking back.
Australian thing.
And then we used to
Lethal, not to let you off here. But I want to introduce our guests that joined us and rejoined us. Rejoining us back is the one, the only, the Odin's Movie Blog. He has joined us.
What's up?
He's rejoined us, and joining us for the first time this evening on this packed Moist Cast bonus episode is my co-host of Game of Thrones season reviews. Coming up next Sunday will be season 2 Game of Thrones review on Black Angus Reviews channel. And speak of the devil, here he is. Welcome aboard, Black Angus Reviews.
Hey, Black.
Did somebody order some diversity?
Diversity is in the house.
Indeed, Black Angus. Yes.
And to Black Angus, what we're going down the line here, and we're talking about some of our favorite memories of toys. Some of your favorite, like I talked about my epic lightsaber battles. We've heard a lot of stories here so far. So we're going to keep going down the line here. I'll go to Mr. Peabody, then Odin, and down the line. So Black Angus, you can think about some of your favorite toy memories growing up. And, oh, God. Yeah, Coach Millhouse says in the chat, though, maximum moisture is achieved. We're going to take it even further than that, bud. So get buckle in. It's about to get fucking more moist. And Thug Life Jeremy says some of his favorites were wrestling figures. Yeah, I know. I think wrestling figures were a popular thing. I had a couple growing up, but I wasn't a big fan. Thug Life Jeremy also said massive collection of Star Wars, Doctor Who, Batman, and John Cena. So they're with the wrestling there. Yeah, I had one of my favorite action figures growing up was a Batman action figure, and then I got a Robin to go with it, but I didn't have a Joker for a while, and so I was just like, well, I'm just going to pretend Robin's the bad guy. But I think Mr. Peabody, and then we'll go Odin, and then Mr. Pete, proper rookie, and then back to you, Black Angus. So,
well, anybody on Odin's Discord knows that I still have my Star Wars toys, and I still play with them all. So that's just starters. But I still play with my toys. But if you want something memorable, something that it happened twice, but once with a car and once with a helicopter. It's radio-controlled helicopter, and it had nice lights on it and everything like that. And I used to fly it around during the day, and it was fun and everything like that. But I thought, it looked really cool at night. So I took it out the backyard at night and launched it way up into the air, and I was having a great time. I was like, yeah, this is fantastic. This is fantastic. And then the wind started to catch it and started to drift it. It started floating over the next door neighbor's house. I'm still trying to control this thing. And because it was at night, I couldn't tell if it was coming towards me or away from me. And I just had to sit there, and I basically just put my hand up and waved it goodbye. So it went down the street. And so I said, yeah, goodbye to my helicopter. I was like, yeah, I'm never going to see that again. I thought, oh, I'll go have a look for it. So I was walking up and down the street with the radio control, just pushing on the throttle because you can hear it when it fires up. And I got to a house 5 houses down, and I could hear it. So it's in there. What it had done is like the house had this massive fir tree out the front, and the fir tree went right over the roof. So I don't know how the helicopter did it, but it managed to get between the fir tree and the roof and land on its skids on the ground. So I collected it, went home, and I never flew it at night again. I know it's not that exciting. I thought it would be, but it wasn't. Obviously,
that's personal.
It fell flat.
Oh no, I would say no. The thing is, what the personal things mean the most, and that it might not be exciting to everybody, but that doesn't give you shouldn't give 2 fucks. Honestly,
but the personal things are my Star Wars toys, and you guys know I still fucking play with them all the time. So.
Well, and the thing is, and that shows, you really care about the story, and you care about, where they came from and stuff. And I think that's awesome. And I think a lot of people, something that I didn't really think about until the sequel trilogy came out was how much I appreciated my Star Wars toys that I had from mostly the prequel series. And there's a few of them that I didn't open that are from episode 3 that I'm just like, well, I'll never open them just because it's a memory that I remember when I got them. I remember, I got a Darth immediately after seeing episode 3, I told my mom, I'm like, can you drive me to Walmart? My mom drove me to Walmart, and I went in and I immediately bought the Darth Vader action figure from Episode 3, and that is my favorite Star Wars figure to date. Even though it's probably worth maybe $10, but it's something I'll never get rid of because it's just I saw Episode 3, I saw Darth Vader become Darth Vader, and minus the no part. I kind of forget. I kind of like to block that part.
Disney fixed that. Say what you will, but Disney did fix that part in the comics.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was not aware of that, but that is good then. But
badass.
But yeah, that's like one of my favorite things. It's a personal thing. It means like nothing to nobody, but just something that I'll always hold on to. So, Odin, is there a favorite specific toy or memory that you have?
I mean, there was, as far as like favorites go, I can't really think of any that come to mind. But there was one when you talk about wrestling toys. I was a huge fan of wrestling toys when I was a kid, but it was really only like a couple that I actually like played with a lot. But one was a Wrestle Buddy Sting action figure, and it was the Crow's Sting, and it was great because when it was on its back, it would count 1, 2, 3. So you could actually have like legit matches with the damn thing. Every time you hit it, it made sounds. Every time that you like did anything with it, it was really cool. So I mean, that's the one that comes to mind. Someone had mentioned wrestling toys in the chat, and I was like, no, you know what? My Wrestling Buddy Sting was awesome because I had a lot of fun matches.
Yeah, I think it was Thug Life Jeremy that had mentioned the wrestling toys. Mr. Pete Channel, if you have some favorite toys, I think you're muted right now, but it just if you're still here, I'll give you a few seconds here. If you have any favorite toys or memories.
Hello.
Yep.
I'm driving right now. I got to get back to you guys.
Okay, yeah. Please be safe. Don't stream and drive. I mean,
so please go to anybody. Whoops.
Okay, we
yeah. Please go to somebody else. Do me next. Do me last. I'll go last.
We will do that. Okay.
Yeah, that was brilliant. I love that. Surrounded by Victorians.
So who's next?
It should be proper, but since you have spoken, Rookie, you are now next.
Huh?
Okay.
Right, there he is.
Nope.
Okay, yeah.
You can go proper. Go ahead.
No, after you. I know what happened last time. Let's go.
No, proper Jeremy is being proper.
All right. I appreciate the properfulness.
He's first.
Hilarious. Okay. Specific toys or memories. See, I was the kind of kid that would like do a lot of funny stuff with the toys, like with Play-Doh and stuff. Like I would destroy them, basically some of them with Play-Doh. I don't have any specific memories with toys. I mean, if you saw Napoleon Dynamite, think of that. Like you throw the toy out with the string attached to it, and I would do some type of stuff like that sometimes. I would set them all up and just have this like battle in my head. I'd use like an Xbox box as part of a wall or something, and like have a Lord of the Rings style takedown thing happen with some of them. Yeah, I mean, I don't have any specific toys because I played with a variety of like the Power Rangers, Star Wars, Army toys, Beetleborgs-ish, stuff like that. Stuff in Goodwill too. Apparently, I had like He-Man ones, apparently, and a few other types of things. I had no idea what the hell they were for from Goodwill. With a lot of them missing arms, and that'd be part of the fun with it, I suppose.
Yeah. No, so and what you said with the like Army men and stuff, I will just admit it right now. Army men were probably one of my favorite toys aside from Star Wars growing up because I'm a massive as much as I love Star Wars and Game of Thrones, I know exponentially more about the U.S. Civil War. That is my true area of study and fandom, I guess. Not fandom, but in a sense of study. I mean, I intentionally moved to I live near the Manassas battlefield, and I intentionally moved from DC to be next to a battlefield. So I do the Civil War reenacting. I do all that stuff. So I'm a diehard Civil War buff. And with the Army men, yeah, definitely had plenty of Army battles.
Are you talking about those little green dudes from Toy Story?
Yeah, the green and
little green guys.
I think we all had those. Yeah.
Army.
I think you mean green persons.
Oh yeah! Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah. What I was gonna say, I was gonna say, since we were talking about Legos earlier, do you guys know those like ancient brick toys that weren't Legos, but they were like
Mega Blocks?
Not Mega Blocks. No, those were different. These were like
blocks.
I think so. My dad has like 3 or 4 like boxes, or not boxes, but like the containers they were in that are like old-fashioned crappy Legos that had like pegs that weren't like this. They're skinnier, and they would hardly fit half the time. I don't know what the hell they were called, but they were like a 40s or 60s version of Legos. Like, I don't know. It was a different brand, different thing. I think it was like from Sweden. I don't even know. Yeah, like the earlier Legos. I don't know if you guys know what those are, because I don't.
I couldn't tell you what they are, but not to take away from that, but we just had a goddamn Titanic love story just dropped in the chat section here. Coach Millhouse says whenever he was
Craig,
8
of course
years
it's
old,
fucking Craig.
he had a Rancor monster that he chased a girl around in class with. Fuck, he married her 12 years later.
Yeah, tell the rest of the story, Craig.
Awesome.
Tell the rest of the story,
Hang on.
Craig.
Did the Rancor do the ceremony?
Yeah, I would say, how did this happen? Please tell us in the chat section. We need to
awesome.
know this story, and I will absolutely read every word that you type. So please do it.
Craig's good people.
All right, so I think
He is.
so. Rookie, I thank you for that there, and I think proper Jeremy, and then we'll go to Black Angus, and then hopefully we'll hear Thug Life Jeremy or Millhouse's story here. Holy shit!
Yeah.
I got 2. One of them was when I was a big fan of Lord of the Rings. My parents took me when I was a kid to every single movie they went to because I loved watching movies. You know, not the R-rated ones, obviously, but just like anything, because they knew that I would shut up and I would just watch and listen. And sometimes I would actually, when I was younger, I would like watch the end credits. But anyways, back to one of them was Lord of the Rings. Each movie, and I loved playing with those toys. They were so fun, and I had like many adventures that I would like make up. But I noticed after watching Return of the King that the Frodo figure that I had 10 fingers, so I had to rip one off. I had to do it. Oh, I bit it off, just traditionally, you know.
Just for authenticity, you know.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like, this isn't right.
Seeds of a serial killer.
Apparently, it's clean off. I don't know how, but it was pretty clean. Like you couldn't tell.
Just a habit chewing toys. No,
right. Yeah, they were baby teeth anyway, so it's whatever. But then the second one is I was in my grandparents' attic and I saw all these Star Wars toys, and I just got into Star Wars, so I was like, this is so cool. There's all these Star Wars toys, but they were like my uncles, my mom's, and they were all the Kenner toys, and I was like, oh, these are so cool. And my grandma said, these aren't yours. These are your uncles and your mom's. You can't play with them. And I was really sad. And then like a year later or something, they threw them out. And I was so angry. Because they're fucking Kenner toys. You know how much they're worth now? You know how much fun that would have been to play with those? So great. I probably would have ruined the hell out of them more than my uncles and my mom, but damn, that would have been so much fun. But I remember seeing them, and I think I remember seeing Obi-Wan. I was like, that looks nothing like the guy that I know, because I grew up more on the prequels.
No, like, it's not Ewan McGregor.
That's not Ewan McGregor. That looks nothing like him. But I was so sad. I was so sad when I found out that they had thrown him out. I was like, really?
Yeah, exactly right, Odin. They are Kenner toys.
Yeah. What did I say?
You said that. But that's what made them so good. They were Kenner toys. Yeah,
precisely.
Yeah, and I say so. Yeah, proper. I think. I know my uncle. My grandmother had all my uncle's toys that were Kenner, and he has them in storage now. And I've been trying to tell him, like, you need to get them out of there. Like, they're worth a lot of shit. and he just refuses to get them out. But
why?
He just doesn't. You know, lots of complex things going on in the family, but I'm just like, you don't realize the gold mine that you have, and he's just like, at some point, you know, yeah. But
it's not even that; it's also the nostalgic feeling, the personal feeling.
Oh my God, yeah.
And I don't even think that my uncles would have. I think they were mostly my uncles. My mom had some too, but the nostalgic feeling that you have with them, the attachment that you have with those toys, they mean a lot to you. And I'm so happy. And my mom has never thrown out any toys that I didn't say, yeah, that can go. Like, she never threw out the Star Wars toys. She never threw out the Lord of the Rings toys. None of the Harry Potter toys. None of those. They were all safe and sound in the crawl space, and it's all good. And I'm so grateful for that. And one day I will go look through them, see what's there. I'll post pictures or something. Maybe put some in my, if I, get a little office space, put them there, and just reminisce and just embrace it instead of just throwing it out like, oh, it's a childhood thing, whatever. No, it's more than just that,
Yeah.
No, and I mean, just to I say right after I say this little bit here, we're gonna go to Black Angus for his take on this. Yeah. But just to say exactly, no. Whenever one of the so I've lived away from home for a few years now. And I went to my parents' house, which is the house that I grew up in. And my mom was like, "Oh, hey, downstairs can go through some of the." Because my undergrad degree is in history and international studies, so obviously I'm a huge bookworm. So I have a shitload of books, and my mom's like, "Hey, like, is there any of them we can get rid of that you still have at the house?" And we can go through and kind of weed them out. So I went down there and was trying to weed them out, and I saw a little like a crate, or not like one of the plastic bins. I'm like, "Oh, I don't remember that plastic bin." I opened it up, and it was just some of my old toys. And on top was my one stuffed animal, my little teddy bear that I always sleep with when I was a kid. And I saw it. It was like the Toy Story 3 moment at the end, whenever Andy kind of is like, "Oh my God, like, I don't want to leave these." You best believe I swiped that thing, and it sits on my fucking bookshelf right now. So I'm like, it sits on my bookshelf right now with all my books that are in Arabic and like all the stuff that I'm doing now. Like, it sits right next to them, and like I love every time when I go walk into my room and I see my bookshelf, I see that bear. I'm just like, gotcha, bud. But
Jon Snow hates it. That's nemesis.
Well, no, Jon Snow. I don't think Jon Snow. He doesn't know what that is. He's usually sleeping half the time here. But
that actually does remind me. I had a Woody doll, and there was Andy on it. And I was like kind of jealous, and I had to write my name on it.
Yep.
So Brandon, I don't know, but it's like the picture that you're in on screen now. Is that the battlefield behind you?
No, that is Jerash. That is in Jordan. In the Middle East.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, that is the ancient city of Jerash. Those are Roman ruins and Roman/Byzantine.
Oh, so EVS was there.
Yeah, no, EVS. Yeah,
they all call him Caesar.
Oh, yeah, yeah, Caesar. Yeah, no, if you look at my Facebook, you can find all of the. You can look at me on Facebook. I'll tell you, Facebook, Brandon Keith, which is my middle name. You can look me up.
So basically, I wasn't really wrong. So at one stage, it was a battlefield build.
No, it's a city. The hills on the outside are actually a battlefield. The hills behind me are only a few miles from the Syrian border. So when I was there in 2015, ISIS was only about an hour's drive from that position. So yes, a battlefield it is at that point. Yeah. But no, it's a gorgeous Roman city, if I could say the least.
No, it's a cool picture though.
Yeah,
thanks for jumping in, Odin. I'm so glad that you made it.
I was gonna say, yeah, Odin. If you guys are not subscribe to Odin for some ungodly reason. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to Odin's movie blog. He has been awesome. He's a fantastic member of the Fandom Menace. He has a shitload of takes. I think he said he had like 300 some videos that he had said earlier. Go down that rabbit hole because it's a good rabbit hole to go down.
Dude, And as he said, he doesn't edit either. He just goes straight through.
Yeah, no, and that's kind of, I like that, and that's kind of inspired me. So that's like when he pops in here, I'm just like, oh my god, yes, okay, cool, yes.
I enjoy surprising you, Master Moist. And what better way than you already had some people coming in to just drop that bomb and boom, look what we got. 2 Aussies, a Norse god, a crazy guy with a Joker in his office, you know.
We got Black Angus, proper Jeremy. We got Mr. Pete Channel blowing up the fucking channel with his Death Star. And we got the rookie, who I would argue is a sophomore critic at least.
Sophomore.
No, so I'm sorry. He still hasn't seen Jaws, so no.
I haven't seen it all the way.
Oh, you're not even a rookie then. You're more
Oh
like
my goodness,
a seedling.
You're saying like,
You might consider him a man baby.
Not quite as rolling off the tongue for critic.
oh my goodness.
I can't shit on Rookie too much. You know, he did give me kind of like a break. You know, just invited me on the stream. So yeah, it's you only roast the ones you love,
And that's
this
fine.
is gonna be short.
I can take it. I can take it.
Yeah.
How does that work for Hitler proper, Jeremy?
Oh my god.
And proper is on the spot. As
And goodbye.
Stumped him.
That shut him up.
with that Black Angus. Oh shit.
Healy.
Oh no.
Okay, with that
Get him away.
going off of that, let's hear some of your favorite toy memories.
All right. So,
Holy wow.
bring y'all way back. All right. I became an acolyte. Before I became an acolyte of the Thunder Down Under, before I became the president of the Black Angola nation state, I was a wee little lad in Oklahoma, and I wore cowboy hats, loved, and wanted to be George Strait. Okay. So my mom got me a lot of Ertl toys. That's a brand you can find at like Tractor Supply.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have a lot of different breeds of cattle. Like I had a Brahma, I had a Longhorn, I had an Angus. It's even though I wasn't aware I had Angus back then, but yeah, had all these different breeds, Charolais and shit, and they'd come with the calf and the bull. Unless it was the milk cow, like the classic black and white patch cow, it was a mama cow. And yeah, I'd play the fuck out of the farm set, and I'd always be playing with them, even though they just are in one, like these sets and build the ranch and stuff. I also had Legos. I didn't have any instructions. It's just like a set of Legos, and I would make my own version of bulls. I'd put the horns on the very front, so you couldn't, like, if you didn't know, you probably could. You could tell it was an animal I was making, but you couldn't tell what I was doing. But I love doing color schemes with these Lego bulls and stuff, and I'd pretend that I had like someone riding them, and I had a little horse. And I remember talking. I wasn't really big into toys besides like my Legos, I guess. I used to, like, we had a lot of slats underneath the bed, and I'd shove them all to the front, and I off the scene from Lion King where Mufasa dies on the cliff. I always loved that scene for some reason.
You sick fuck.
Yeah, those are dude. Lethal Lightning. To give you a perspective, okay. Even as a little kid, I rooted for the Velociraptors in Jurassic Park.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, really.
Jesus Christ! I supported Megatron and Darth Vader, but you're a weirdo.
Well, hey, you know, so getting a little scientific for you. It's weird that Scar is the bad guy using the color scheme of black because in reality, lions that have the darker mane are more attractive. Kind of. Scar should have all the ladies actually in reality.
I'm pretty sure I actually learned that.
Scar's a
I'm pretty
bitch.
sure I learned
Scar
that
shits
on the
himself when
animal
he
planet.
thinks Simba is Mufasa. Who, by the way, is actually voiced by a black person. So this is where diversity gets really complicated, and I can't keep up.
We're talking about lions, bro. It's all good.
Yeah, Mufasa.
Yeah, Mufasa. Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Angus just saw Ferris Bueller's Day Off for the first
No,
time.
no. I'm halfway through. I took a break, got on Twitter, saw that Brandon Moist sent out the invite. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get on the Moist cast.
You're halfway through Ferris Bueller? Seriously?
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. I'm not impressed.
He's not a fan of comedies. That's why.
I can tell. He's bloody going for the Velociraptors and
Ferris Bueller is not your normal comedy. It's Ferris Bueller.
Yeah,
I definitely feel hints of Deadpool, having gone back and found this late '80s flick. I definitely feel like a kind of basis that they did with Deadpool for a movie with the fourth wall, which I know Deadpool already does the fourth wall in the comics, but
well, they copy that from Ferris Bueller, I would think. I don't know.
yeah, Ferris.
Well, yeah,
Deadpool actually does the exact same scene as Ferris Bueller at the end. Does the exact same scene.
And don't
And
forget,
that's the
Black,
joke, Ferris Bueller.
when you get to the end and you're going through the credits, keep on waiting because there's more in the credits. Yeah.
There's an end credit scene, yeah. And it's
go
the
through.
best. It is the best end credit scene you will ever see. Period. That is it.
Period.
I don't know about the best, but it's
the best.
It's still in there.
Best. It's the best.
Period.
It's
Wait,
my
you didn't
okay.
like
How
the-
about this? It's my favorite. All right.
No, you were right the first time.
wait, proper. You didn't like the end credit to get us hyped for Captain Marvel in Infinity War?
I don't know what you're talking about. I have actually never seen that movie because I was very upset with Thor Ragnarok because I didn't understand what was happening. I have to watch all the movies now before I watch.
All right, so to be honest, to be just completely honest here, I was still behind on Marvel movies because they're coming out every fucking minute. I watched that 20-minute video on YouTube where it broke down everything you need to know going into Infinity War. I got it. I'm like, perfect. I know everything. I know that I've seen half the movies I have not seen. This little breakdown set up perfectly, and I went into Infinity War. And I'm just like, okay, I know exactly what's going on right now. Thanks to that little 20-minute video. So for those of you that haven't or don't want to watch all of the bajillion Marvel movies that are out there right now, I have been trying to catch up, and I will say they're very good. You
don't even need to watch a 20-minute video. You watch one, they're all pretty much the same, and you can kind of figure out what's going on.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, that's the thing, yeah. You can figure out. There's little, niches here and there that you're going to miss if you're not like a really, real big fan. But, that 20-minute video set me up perfectly for the stuff that I hadn't seen. I'm like, okay, so I went into Infinity War, and I'm like, boom. Okay, we're right in the middle of the action. Here we go. I know what's going on. And Jesus. I was ready. So
you did your homework.
I attempted to do homework as a graduate student, and I succeeded. So
you graduated.
I did graduate. I graduated. I officially received my degree on December 31st.
Your master's. Ooh.
Yes, that's why I am Moist.
I am.
He's a master. The master of moisture.
So some of you might have seen me in the theaters recently under the pseudonym Aquaman. But you're talking to the real master of moisture here, and Aquaman is just my pseudonym. So I told Jason Momoa, hey, you can play me, that's all right. But the real Moist. I think
I've only seen 7 of the MCU films, and I think I've only seen 3 of them in the cinema. So I don't think you really need to worry too much about falling behind on what's going on in the overall story.
No, I see most of mine just like catching up like after they come out. So
yeah, my
right, Kitty, thank you. Thanks for that. Appreciate that. And Riot Kitty has seen all of them except Ant-Man 2. Have you guys seen Ant-Man 2? Or Ant-Man?
No, I didn't really want to after the Avengers. It came out so quick, and I was like, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Oh, man. It's such a bore.
I was saying, Rookie and Black Angus. If you guys want to talk about Ant-Man 2 a little bit, because I don't have really anything to say about it, because I didn't even see Ant-Man 1.
Ant-Man 1 is okay, but the second one is like, it's a movie, it feels like no consequence, and it just tries to wow you with like, oh, look at Ant-Man, he's doing Ant-Man stuff again, he's getting big, he's getting small, look what he's doing. Yeah, and it's just like, oh my god, and I really hate Michael Pena Like I don't like that guy.
Who's Michael Pena? The old guy?
Pena.
The Mexican.
Pena.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's funny in short bursts for like 5 seconds, and then any more of him, it's no, please
Because
don't.
didn't he played the FBI agent in Shooter? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the pussy cop. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll give you a real hot. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, there's like this whole mother thread for the Wasp, where in the first movie they give you the backstory of like she went into the quantum realm and she's probably dead, and Hank Pym's been trying to break through, and somehow what's his name, Scott Lang has gotten through the quantum and come back. So there's hope for the mother, and then he starts getting like these essentially her like channeling herself through him or some shit, and then they finally shoot through into the quantum realm and they find her and she comes back and it's like, yeah, she's older, but it's just like, whatever, I've been living with water bears and stuff in this molecular crazy world, as opposed to what's that movie, Aquaman. At least Aquaman, they like, it felt a little bit better. It still wasn't as good as it could have been, but like it felt like there's at least some gravitas to the fact that his mom's been gone all this time in this realm that she couldn't get out of. So there's similarity but difference.
At least he had Daenerys to fuck for a while, but
the end credits are so retarded, given that we just saw Infinity War and then they catch up to Infinity War and it's like, there's an ant, remember, wearing his leg brace or whatever, the police scanner thing, to like, he has to stay in house arrest at his home, and he's been staying there with he has the signal still going on through a giant ant pretending to be him. They've like programmed it to do like his
like playing the drums
in the house. Yeah, it's just like, fuck you, Ant-Man. You're so tonally off.
Ant-Man.
Well, welcoming back to the chat here is Proper Jeremy.
Yeah, I asked him to please come back.
Proper, do you want to?
What do you mean?
Have a welcome back statement here?
What are you talking about? I muted it for like 2 seconds.
No, you
dropped out.
You did drop out here.
After Angus did some diss and you left.
Yeah,
it wasn't even a diss. It was just a, haha, I got you.
Oh. No, I mean, I've spoken before.
You can't drop out without permission from Caitlin. You know that. If she says you can't go because she's the ruler of the Jeremys.
She is the keeper of the Jeremys. That is.
Did you make her a moderator yet, Moist?
I don't think I have. She's still.
She is the best moderator that you could possibly ask for.
She is the best. She moderates for everybody.
Yeah,
great.
She's good.
But
I gotta remember how to do it first. That's the.
I guess thank you for welcoming me back. I'm glad. What were you saying?
Go over the name and then drop. Yeah. Okay, there it is.
Hey, Laura, how you going? Sorry, I need to notice you in the chat. Sorry. a bit lax of me here.
And Laura's also good too.
Now a moderator. I'm honored to have her as a moderator.
Poor Caitlin.
It's like I wanted to enjoy these.
She has just been. Yep, she's now a moderator.
You need to always be working, Caitlin. You never get a break. You always need to work.
Yep.
Yeah.
No,
I got homework to do.
You can be. You're like the emergency moderator. We'll just say that. Yeah. If things get way out of hand, we need you to and bring it all together. So that is. You'll be the emergency moderator. If there was an option to do so, I would give you that honor. But unfortunately, it just says add moderator. And yes, hashtag Caitlin cares. Yes, Laura, it's a short story. Yes. Yes, Caitlin does care. And thank you for joining us as well. I'm so glad for all of you guys joining us. And so let's do something a little different here. And this might get a little long.
I didn't get to say my toy things.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Well, drive waiting on you to jump back, buddy.
Yeah, I'm done driving.
I'm sorry. I'm Mr. Pete. I'm so sorry. I lose track with so many people here. But Mr. Pete, yes, please tell us your favorite Toy Story. Growing up, or favorite.
Hold again. Hold on.
Well, yeah. I guess my favorite Toy Story was I had
Number one.
I had an actual
number one.
I had an actual pedal car.
Oh, here we go.
Ooh.
You know, before kids got into like, you know, what were those things? The little battery operated cars, Power Wheels, I think they were called. I actually had a pedal car, and it was the General Lee.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. Duke the Hazard.
That is a great name for a car.
No,
Yeah.
there's two things that come to mind. He's either put an engine in the back of it, or he's jumped it over a creek.
And I also had a big wheel, and my big wheel was Kit from Knight Rider.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
dank.
And I wish I still had those two, but I played with them till they broke. So, yeah.
You broke the General Lee.
No, I mean I had it for like I got it when I was like 2, and I was still able to fit in it till I was like 6, and
Nah, you
it
were still
eventually
riding.
wore out.
15. It was like you were still 15 riding that thing around. You rode that thing to school, didn't you? The General Lee.
Yeah, it was a simple pedal car. All you had to do was like put your feet forward, back. That's how it operated. Yeah.
Yep.
It's better than the ones that didn't even have a ground, you know, and you had to like just do that yourself. Like, you know, that kind of sucks.
Flintstone car, yeah.
Yeah.
No, tell us what you did with it. What did you do with the General Lee? You jumped it over a creek, didn't you? You did it.
Tried to.
No, it lasted. You know, it finally, you know, wore out. So, you know, my parents threw it away. By that time, I had bicycles. So, yeah.
It's okay. I ran over my old bicycle not bicycle, like a bike, you know, when I first was learning to drive. I wish I took a picture of what it looked like afterwards. Oh, it was so disappointing. And it was replaced with a bike where the handlebar like wouldn't even attach at all. It would just like slip off, and it would just like be rolling back and forth. I'm just like, what the hell is this shit?
Look at it this way. You're learning to drive, right? It's like an analogy, like from The Last Jedi. It's like kill the past. Yeah, it's like I'm learning to drive. I'm going to kill the bike. That's the first thing I'm going to do.
I just backed out, and it was in the way. I was like, no.
Well, who left it there? Who left it there? You did. It was your bike.
Oh, someone got a text.
Yeah, I think Bonnie's stream.
I'm sorry,
I got it to go to Bonnie, so hopefully that did work on that.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm trying to get her in here. So
I just added her.
Yeah, she's doing her stream in like an hour or so.
Yeah. Well, the whole time you guys have been talking, we've been trying to bring her in. I've been having issues with the links that I sent her wasn't working. Then she said, hit the plus button. I'm like, I don't have a plus button on my Mac, so let me try it from my phone. So she's in here now, or she should be able to join. Which I got.
There we go.
Hey, Bonnie,
Hello.
Hello.
Oh my gosh. So tonight we have a new guest on the show, guys.
Awesome.
I say so. We are joined tonight by
Bonnie.
Miss Bonnie. Welcome aboard to the Moist Cast.
Oh, thank you.
And I must say, I like that profile picture with the Attack of the Clones, Obi-Wan and Anakin and Padme. I like that. So what a throwback to 2002.
Oh yeah, I love it.
All right, so Bonnie, so what we've been talking about here is our favorite toy memories and some of our favorite experiences with toys. Like if you have like, you know, I had said about my lightsaber battle. We've heard, you know, from everybody else here on the stream. What are some of your favorite Star Wars toys, just toys in general growing up with that you will forever remember? And let us know what you think about those.
Okay,
and
so
preferably toys that don't leave a scar on your body.
okay, so my favorite toys growing up were my brother's toys. I loved his Transformers and his Star Wars collection. So I used to trade him my dolls to rip their heads off to get his Star Wars and Transformers.
I did the exact same thing. I didn't trade though. I just snuck into my sister's room and
did it on your own.
I messed with my GI Joes.
I would be like, I would be like, here, if you want to rip this doll's head off, I'll give it to you, but you have to give me the Millennium Falcon and Han to play with for the day. And he'd be like, okay, cool, I'll trade.
Oh, for the day, it wasn't permanent. Okay.
Yeah, well, it's okay because I went through a lot of dolls, but I was good with that because I didn't like playing with dolls anyway.
No, it's pretty cool because when my sister had dolls and everything like that, but when she got Skipper came with a skateboard. So I was always pinching Skipper with a skateboard and playing with Skipper.
Oh, cool.
Well, it's cool. She had a skateboard. The Star Wars figures didn't have skateboards, but Skipper had a skateboard, so I had to nab that one.
Yeah, I loved trading the dolls for the toys. That was more fun.
I just want to apologize about my vibrator that's been going off recently. It's my bad.
Well,
I'm sorry, I had to do it. I had to do it.
Hey, that's okay. Proper Jeremy.
I'm sorry.
I don't really know what to say.
One. I'm sorry. I
don't know what to say, honestly.
It's not a joke if
I
it's
just heard
true.
a phone vibrating.
Now
Well,
you're saying it's a phone. First of all, you say it's a vibrator. Now you're saying it's a phone.
I'm making a joke.
It's a phone vibrator.
Okay. We don't
Not a joke if it's true.
Okay, guys. So whose channel, guys, whose channel are we on?
We are on Brandon Moist.
We're on Moist Visions Inc. here.
The Moist Visions Inc.
Brandon Moist.
Okay, I don't have Brandon on my list. I need to add Brandon.
Yes. Yeah, I think I need
Because
that.
I was trying to find out which place it was and I couldn't find it. Okay, let me find it.
Yes. So we are on Moist Visions Inc. here, and we're going to switch the topic here a little bit. I think this will be a great topic that we're going to go to here is, and I had mentioned it to I know Rookie and Superfan Adam Shawhan earlier. If you were to create your own content, your own stories, your own series, your own novels, whatever it is, what would you want to create and why? What do you think you could add to entertainment? I think that, all of us here, we all have a lot of hot takes on, the stories that gave us the toys that we just talked about, Star Wars, Marvel, DC, superheroes, everything. I think that we have a lot of creative minds on this stream right now. And so it's something a little different than what we've seen on some of the, the mainstream streams that we're all following. I'd love to hear what you guys would like to come up. Like if you were given the writer's pen and said, hey, create a story, what kind of a story would you want to make and why would you want to make that story? So I think we'll just kind of go down the line again with, we'll start with Superfan, then go Black Angus, Bonnie, Lethal, Peabody, Mr. Pete, Proper, and then we'll end it with the Rookie Critic.
Cool.
All right. Well, so I just did mine on Bonnie's stream last night, which was ironically just a whole lot of fun. But since I already did that one, I'm going to do a new one. What I would do, because, why not? I think it would be a lot of fun to reshoot the original Star Wars and do it with the Wiener Dogs. Because, hey, nothing like a wiener dog in a stormtrooper outfit and a Darth Vader outfit with Obi-Wan robes and Princess Leia. And hey, I don't even have to write shit. And it's going to sound cheesy, but when you've got 16 wiener dogs, I think that is still better than Disney Star Wars.
Not yet.
Be a whole lot of wiener in there.
Giggity.
All right. And Black Angus, let's head to you next.
Wait, sorry, I do actually have to go. But
before
I go,
let's go to you quick.
One quick question for Rookie. Rookie, are you still doing the Rookie's Corner, and when so? Because I might have someone that would be good to come on.
Yeah, I'll be starting again on February 1st.
All right, no worries. Okay. I'll just gotta make a mental note of that. All right, no worries. But I do actually have to get going.
Right.
Thank you, Moist, for having me on. Absolute champion. It's very hot, but I feel a bit of moisture now. Adam,
come
thanks
on,
for having
it's
me
not that
on.
hot. Suck it up.
Have you seen this fucking room?
Oh, Proper.
Telling me-
What did I
telling
tell
me-
you? What did I tell you he would complain about? What did I tell you?
Yeah, he did. He did out
it's
you
a
on the
little
Geek
bit
Week
warm.
show.
It's a little bit
But
warm.
Lethal, thank you for coming.
Hot in here.
Bye, Lethal.
It is hot in here. It is hot in here. You don't get to tell me how my body feels.
Open the window.
Thank you for joining us from the land down under. And I hope you have a great day. Everybody, if you're not subscribed to Lethal Lightning, please do. The man is a fucking legend. You just heard him here tonight. He's dropped fucking awesome one-liners here. Thanks for joining us, man, and hope you have a great day.
All right, take care.
Man.
Thank you.
When Odin throws lightning, it's lethal lightning.
Bye-bye.
All right. So holy shit, that was awesome. Always a good time having Lethal Lightning joining on the live streams here. So let's keep going down the line. Let's keep going down the line here. Now we're at Black Angus. If you were going to create a series, a novel, a movie, or whatever, what kind of a movie would you want to make? It could be a remake, or it could be something completely original. Whatever. What would you want to see?
Okay, well, I've actually had this idea for a long time. I haven't really expanded on it since I initially kind of created this general outline. But so I used to be Catholic, and I was a acolyte and a lay reader at my church in Oklahoma. And one day I just got inspired. I was looking in the mirror at my robe, and I'm like, wait a minute, it'd be cool to have a some sort of story about an acolyte, and it could be very epic and stuff, and play on fantasy, but be rooted in kind of like a historical fiction fantasy, where it's like, all right, I'm really done my work with the history part, but I've made this whole fantasy around it. So my idea is you have like the prologue or what have you, where it's the final battle of Vlad the Impaler against the Turks or the Ottomans. I'm not sure what you'd call them back then.
Ottoman Turks. Yeah.
Yeah. So just to catch everyone up, my favorite person in history is Vlad the Impaler. He is clearly the inspiration for Dracula, the famous vampire, but I think he gets a lot of shit, and no one gives him credit for being really the preserver of the West, because at the time that the Transylvanian country and stuff was at war with the Ottomans, they really kept them from invading into the West and allowed the Renaissance to keep going and flourishing. The Pope at the time was going to aid in a new crusade through Romania, but he died right before he could actually initialize that. And so all hope of help from the West died with that Pope. Because there were so many crusades, the West realized like, oh, this isn't a war for God's cause. It's money and just a human war. But yeah, I like to start with that, and then have a character who's the son of one of the people in the army of Vlad the Impaler, who unfortunately dies, and he's sickly, and him and his mother somehow travel to some part of West Europe, maybe Germany, and he ends up getting a calling from God through an angel that I named Rias, who was like a battle angel, and he is tasked with kind of like Ezekiel, but instead of being a prophet, being a warrior, to cleanse the corrupt shepherds of the flock. And so he'll fight witches and all sorts of evils of the human world and of the spiritual, but he will eventually corrupt and succumb to become an acolyte of Satan, leading into the Reformation. So I'd want to do a hint at history where he crosses paths with someone, like a kid looks back and he's kind of inquisitive, and the dad's like, "Come back, Martin," and it's like, "Haha, Martin Luther, that's going to be an enemy of the church, but in the end, this guy won't care because he's going to be doing the devil's work eventually in the sequel."
That is fascinating. I know, especially the historical fiction. I love it. And the thing is, the reason why I'm asking everybody on this stream to give ideas like that, because as what you just heard with Black Angus, there is potential there to have a fucking great story. And I think, we're in a community, in a fan community, especially being associated with the Fandom Menace, WCBS, Geeks and Gamers, EVS, that we kind of get stereotyped of we're just a bunch of bigots, racist assholes that just want. It's just a bunch of Trump or MAGAs that doesn't want anything but that. And it's like, no, really what we want is just good stories. We don't care if you're left or right or, whatever your political affiliations are. We don't care. We just want good stories, and we want authentic stories. We don't want to force an ideology upon you. We don't want it to be, and if an ideology is present, we don't want it to be forced in your face. It should just be subliminally. Oh, a couple things here and there, no big deal. Who gives a fuck? But as long as it's a great story, and I think what Black Angus just laid out there is fucking awesome. I'm a big sucker for historical fiction, but Bonnie and then Mr. Peabody, do you guys have some stories that you would, if you were to write a novel or you had the director reins, what would you want to do?
For me, I did this the other night on my show. I actually would do a complete remake of The Last Jedi.
That would be very well welcomed.
Yeah, in my story, instead of Ben being Han and Leia's son, he would be Mara Jade and Luke's son, like he should have been.
Lord.
And Jaina Solo would be Han and Leia's daughter.
Oh, yes.
And Rey would be completely out of the story.
She
would never even have existed.
If you didn't have a reason to subscribe to Bonnie's channel before that, you fucking have many reasons right there.
Laid out.
Joining us also right now, towards the end of the Moist cast here, is the Jeremy that likes to enjoy a good Sunday evening movie. It might tug at the heartstrings. It might make a man cry, but it will make a man really look at a movie and examine himself. It is the one, the Hallmark Channel, Jeremy.
Well, I heard racist and bigot and figured I had to come in. So
that's why I sent you the link, man. I was like, you know what? Any Hallmark Channel Jeremy that's gonna bring a tear to a man's eye with racist bigots and Australians that are voting for Trump, we gotta have the Hallmark Channel Jeremy.
Especially on the Moist channel. Yeah.
Absolutely. So Hallmark, what we're doing is we're going down the line here and saying, if you had the writers, you had the writer's pen or the director's, the director's hold, what would you create? What kind of entertainment? It could be a recreation of something. What would you want to make? So I think we'll come back to you, Hallmark. So we'll go to Mr. Peabody and then Mr. Pete, Proper Jeremy, Rookie, and then back to you, Hallmark.
Well, I apart from Star Wars, always liked sword and sorcery. So that was it was an idea I came up with many years ago. I actually wrote the prologue, and that's about as far as I got. But basically, it's along the lines of a child gets abandoned at a temple, and the temple raises the child, and it's a woman. She grows up, and they train her as a temple guard. But this child is also special. So on the other side of the place, you've got two old mages, and one they know each other for a long time. But when the child was born, one mage actually converted himself. He transformed himself into a wolf. I know it's sort of like very cliche, but every year this wolf does this trek and walks all the way back to this other mage's thing, and then the other mage says to him, okay, now it's time. So the wolf becomes the temple guard's familiar, and she goes and kicks ass. That's as far as I got.
That's an awesome story.
I was going to say, yeah, I like this. Like, keep going.
But the wolf becomes, he's actually a mage that's transformed himself into a wolf, but he becomes her familiar. And together she has to do this quest, but I never got to the quest. All I did was write the whole prologue, and that's as far as I got. And I did that when I was about 15. But I've always liked sword and sorcery, so my major influences would be like Raymond E. Feist, so magician and things like that, and Star Wars. So that's as far as I got.
Yeah, and Mr. Peabody, and the thing this is exactly why I want to have this kind of segment anytime I do a Moist cast. The Moistcast will be returning on Sundays from now on, so as to not interfere. I know the Senate usually streams at this time, so I'm going to move the Moistcast to Sunday evenings to give everybody a Sunday evening. We can fight the Sunday scaries together on the Moistcast in the future, starting not this week, but next weekend. But
thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, yeah, so yeah, PJ, I've been planning on doing that for a while, and we got it set right now. But
actually, he changed his mind. We're gonna stay doing it just to annoy you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll just fuck with everybody. But no, the thing is, like, why I wanted to do this tonight, and especially since I knew the Senate wasn't streaming, and I want to try to do this every Moistcast, especially every time I get someone new on the Moistcast, is just get your ideas for, like, what's something that you might have come up with, whether it's a remake of a movie or a novel or just a story that you've been writing, a short story or whatever. Like, talk about it, because I think, this community that we have, yes, we can all sit around and bitch and moan about The Last Jedi, Soilo, Plan 9, everything. But, when you look at each channel, why are we bitching? We're bitching because we each have individual, unique ideas about how entertainment should be. And so what I really want Moist Visions Inc., why I named the channel Moist Visions Inc., I want it to be promo. I want it to be a platform where people can put out their ideas and promote their ideas and promote their content that they might create, whether it's on YouTube or maybe they're working on a novel. Like I'm working on a novel myself. Like, whatever you're doing, like, please feel free to put it out here. This is why we do this. And Mr. Peabody, love it. Bonnie, everybody, super fan, love it. And so we're gonna keep this rolling here with Mr. Pete channel.
Now, hang on. Can I just add one more thing?
Yes.
Because she was trained as a temple guard, she only uses concussion weapons. She's highly proficient with the bowler, so she uses a bowler all the time. And her name is Shay.
Name is Shay.
Shay, yeah.
With Ebola. Oh goodness.
Shay, and she throws bowlers at you. Yeah.
Oh boy. oh Lord. Oh Lord, that would suck. Oh my goodness. Okay, all right. So with Ebola thrown at you, we're gonna go to Mr. Pete channel. How about yourself?
Okay. The question was, what would you like to create, or what would you like to redo?
Yeah, recreate, redo, and whether your choice. If you had like an original idea that you have been working on, you want to talk about.
Yeah,
or
I mentioned this.
Take The Last Jedi or whatever.
Yeah, I mentioned this a few times. Like a story based on time travel, but it's like a limited form of time travel. Like you can't go to any age. The way it works is you have like a photograph of an historical event. And the way the time machine works is like you put that photograph into the machine, and then like you get zapped through the space-time continuum, whatever, through photons.
So it would be like, all right, the famous flag raising on Iwo Jima.
Yeah. So like if you put like that picture from that time, like you'll go, boom, you're there. But the thing is, I'm really bad at like, I can't write, I have trouble reading. So yeah. So if anybody ever wants to like take this idea and run with it, all I ask for is like, if you're going to make this into a movie, all I ask for is just a simple credit. That's all I ask for.
Well, here's the thing, and I'll say this on air live. It's something that I've kind of considered doing, is creating a Facebook page or something that's just like, I don't know what to call it, but just to provide a platform, on a platform, I guess, for people to connect. So like, Mr. Pete, you have a great idea there.
Yes.
You might not have the writing skills, but try to create a platform where you could connect people that have, the writing capabilities that you're looking for, that you guys could meet and then, discuss, and you could work together to write the book or write the novel, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
That's like a dream of mine, is to create kind of like a platform it's not maybe to start out hosted by Facebook, but then kind of like create its own thing. That'll take a lot of research and everything, but that's just kind of like a thing that I've kind of noticed within this community, that there's so much that there's so much talent, there's so much storytelling elements, and everyone has great stories they need to tell and they want to tell. Yeah, it's like we need to tap into this, and we need to make a platform that people can do so. So, any programming people out there, I know Tyler, my best friend, if you're still listening, you're big into that shit. Text me because I know you're into that. We can hopefully get some stuff going.
Well, Brandon, if you get with me on Twitter, I'll talk to you about it because I run the Reviews for You Facebook page for Craig.
Yeah.
And I'm really good with that kind of stuff, so I can help you come up with an idea and we can get something going.
Yes, definitely. That's exactly why we're doing this here. That is exactly why. Thank you, Bonnie. That is awesome.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and if I may also add, like, what I would like to see, like, in established, like, an established form of entertainment is, like, and who knows, maybe Disney might do this someday, like a alternate universe of, like, Star Wars, like, where, say, Leia was raised on Tatooine and Luke became the Prince of Alderaan. You know, I would like to see that. You know, like twisting a story we all love just a little bit. So
that would be interesting.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of fan fiction out there, like with Leia raised on Tatooine and Luke was taken to Alderaan. But I would really like to see that done professionally, you know?
And the thing is here, there's no harm in wishing to see a fan fiction thing. What that means to me, at least, is that you're thinking about the content that's being created, and it's actually it makes you think beyond watching a 2-hour movie, or reading a book for a few hours, or looking at a comic book for an hour. It's engaging. And with that, Mr. Pete, I don't want to cut you off, but I'm going to go to Rookie Critic here.
Yeah, no, I'm done.
Yep. Oh, no. Yeah. All right. So we're going to go to Rookie Critic here.
Hey, Rookie.
And Rookie also, he already has created some original content. If you please check out his channel, the Rookie Critic. He has a 3-part trilogy, which numerous YouTubers are featured, and it's unreal the amount of YouTube.
49.
Your part is the best, Brandon. Your part is my personal favorite.
I did not plan on my cat having a part in that, but he did. The cat said, "Fuck you, I'm getting great." So
there's a disturbance in the moisture.
And then not you, it was the cat. And I had a plan. There was a Kylo Ren little figure sitting not to spoil too much, but I said there's a disturbance in the moisture. And I was planning on zooming into a Kylo Ren figure that I had sitting there. But my cat walked in front of the camera, so I'm just like, shit, not you. And then I zoomed in on the Kylo figure. I'm like, not you. And then it went into the rookie's plot line, so I'm not going to spoil that for you. But I would advise you to check out Rookie Critics part 1, 2, and 3 of his trilogy. I think it's about his trials as a rookie. As I would argue, he's at least a sophomore now, a second year.
Appreciate it.
but yeah, no, it's great. It's a great laugh. It's a good time. So if you got some time this weekend, check it out, at least for a little bit. But Rookie, so if you had something to create, like just on your own content, obviously you already did with what we just discussed. Maybe something new coming up for yourself. I know there's one thing that you had discussed earlier in the pre-hangout session. If you'd like to talk about that, please feel free.
All right. Well, actually, I'll save the Star Wars one for Bonnie's stream. But
okay, yeah.
This one, I'll bring up an older idea that I haven't worked on in a while. But I'll share my screen real quick.
That was like a little intro.
I have an image up or whatever. So yeah, for a while I was trying to come up with an idea, and it's I called it the Hefty Hero because I'm picturing Jason Momoa as like the buff dude, but he gets fat, and so he's like. I wrote a pitch for it too. I have an image on the screen right here that I tried to draw because I was like, oh, I don't think this will ever be a movie, so I'll just try to draw it. But then I hate drawing it too much. Like when I'm in the mood, I can draw, but then when I'm not, I don't. But so it was like the old pitch that I had was an ancient werewolf warrior that has fought countless battles through the ages against other creatures and superhumans is now an out-of-shape lazy ass enjoying the perks of modern-day life. But with the return of an old enemy wreaking havoc in his town, he'll have to actually get off his fat ass and deal with it himself. and it's like a.
I love how right above the S and the A and the S, you have a hot wing or a turkey leg.
Yep, he's eating it. I didn't mean to have this too, where it looks like he's grabbing at his crotch. That's not supposed to. It's just a wolf hand. It's not related. But no, he's wearing a Call of Duty shirt, sipping Pepsi. He's got his jacket. He's fat. Kitty, shut up. And
Hey.
the whole point is like it's supposed to be a half comedy, half drama, kind of. Like the first half is usually kind of more. There's some action stuff and some things that are kind of funny, and then it goes into oh shit, like okay, now it got real. So that's kind of the point. I actually wrote the first half of the story, and I was going to like draw it and then get people to voice the characters, but I don't know if I'll draw it. But I'll see if people still want to voice stuff, maybe. But it's already started. I could probably post that on my channel at some point. It's sounds better than it is. I haven't like come up with my pitch other than that on it, and I haven't thought about it in a while. But there's a lot of interesting characters. They got some powers. There's filling in history in the present without a bunch of flashbacks. Yeah.
I like that story.
Awesome. There's a little preview for everybody there. So just encourage the rookie to continue doing that, and we'll see what goes on here. And tune into Bonnie's stream, which is going to be coming up next, to see what happens next with what Rookie would like to do with Star Wars. He had discussed it with me a little bit off air, and I think he'll be up to something good. So what we have left here, we're going to do Homework and then Proper Jeremy.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Which one?
Miny, mo. Which one? Yeah.
He's here.
Proper. All right. You are welcome. Proper.
Yep.
Here we go.
Hallmark, are you good?
Oh.
He's dealing with some aliens.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You're used to talking first anyway.
Hey, he's a gentleman. He'll let you go first.
Yeah, ladies first.
I don't want to go first. I really don't.
So I'm going to make an executive decision, and just because Hallmark passed it off first, I appreciated his courtesy. Hallmark, you go first, and Proper Jeremy will wrap us up here, and then after Proper Jeremy goes, I'll give my little spiel, and then we'll get ready to wrap up the Moist cast, and that way we can send it over to Bonnie's stream. So Hallmark, you are on the hot seat. Go.
I want to rewind it a little bit first about toys.
Yeah.
Robot channel, Jeremy.
I'm here a lot of robot here.
Yeah, it figures.
And now we hear you, but
there we go. Yeah, there we go.
No, we won't.
Is it
No,
how do I sound now?
No, you're fine. You're fine. Go on.
I was just saying I still have some original Star Wars toys like the Falcon and Han and Luke, Chewbacca, and X-Wing. A couple of those Ertl toys that Angus was talking about. And so yeah, back when they still made toys halfway decent.
Yeah.
They're the classic toys.
As far as the story goes, I mean, I've always been like, a sci-fi kid, I guess, and I like the like medieval, dragons and that type of stuff, and so that's one thing I kind of liked about Star Wars, is it was like, sci-fi, but it still had creatures and stuff and sword fighting. And another thing is like Westerns. I like, like Wild West stuff. And so like Firefly, I was really disappointed when Firefly got canceled or whatever. So I don't know. My deal would probably be something along the lines of like a space western type of thing, with maybe some creatures, dragon-like creatures or something thrown in there somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, well, like kind of Game of Thrones essence thrown in there. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, no, I like that. That'd be pretty cool. How about Proper Jeremy? How about you wrap us up here on the creative content section?
Well, seeing as I do work. What? Okay, never mind. Well, seeing as I work in Hollywood, well, kind of, I live there and everything.
Humble brag.
What?
No, I'm just kidding. I said humble brag.
Well, no. I mean,
I'm just fucking with you.
No, I'm kind of hesitant on sharing it.
But no, it's okay. I'm just fucking with you. But no, that's totally awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I want to make a musical. A musical.
All right, I'm not gonna lie. I fucking love Les Miserables.
I fucking hate that movie, and that's the whole. Hear me out, though. You're gonna like this one, though.
I've read the book.
So there's this guy, a district superintendent, who absolutely hates musicals, like myself for the most part. I do enjoy good ones, but everything else kind of sucks. Who's breathing heavily in the mic, by the way?
Black I'm gonna use Black Angus.
Just like, what are you, Darth Vader? Jesus. Sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pick on you too much.
That was not very proper.
I know. But anyways, this district superintendent hates musicals. So when the high school is about to set a performance of this musical that they're about to put on, they said this guy's like, well, there's some budget cuts we have to make, and there's some financial issues, so we have to cancel the musical. We have to cancel the theater program and everything. Blah 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 bullshit. And then his wife kicks him on the couch, and then he wakes up, makes himself a bowl of cereal in his underwear, and then in comes an entire what do you call it? Damn it! What's the word?
Chorus line.
Chorus. There is a chorus of people who come in and they sing about, oh, good morning, yay, and they synchronize swim in his bathtub, and they use his razor, and they fuck around with his house, and he's like, there's a 5-minute or something like epic, big, huge musical number and everything, and then he's just sitting there like, what the fuck is going on? What the hell am I looking at right now?
Like a hangover, basically.
Acid Trip, the musical.
Right. So, like, after the end of the song, it's like, wah, boom, and then he's like, the fuck is this? And he eats a thing of his cereal, and he's like, God damn it, my frosted flakes are fucking, what is it? They're soggy again. God damn it. And then he has to make another one, and then he goes about his day. He's like, "What the fuck did I just see? I must have been tripping on acid again. This reminds me of college." And then he drives to Tim Hortons or something, and then somebody's like, I don't know, somebody else in line's like, "I want to buy some coffee. Will you make it black?" I don't know, something like that. And they sing about the coffee, like. I would like a half a teaspoon of sugar and double cream, please. and then like the whole day, this chorus follows him and sings about every goddamn thing that he has in his life. They sing about like him like going to sleep, and they're talking about like peace and quiet. I just want some peace and quiet. Quiet. No, something like that. And he's like, "Oh, you stop singing!" And everyone just freezes.
So it like turns into a
one chorus member goes up to him, approaches him, looks him dead in the eye. Damn! Slaps him right in the face, and they keep singing about the night and everything. And then he sees a therapist, and he's like, Dude, everyone keeps singing around me. What the fuck is going on? Everyone just randomly bursts out into song and dance like all the time. What the hell's going on? And then, of course, a therapist bursts out into song and dance. He has to go to rehab and everything. All that shit. That's kind of the beginning. That's the setup of it, and that's all I'll really talk about that. So it's basically a guy who hates musicals, is cursed with living in a world where everyone is breaking out into song and dance, in a world of the musical world. Because I hate musicals, just because, you know, like, when the fuck does somebody break out into song and dance whenever there's something horrible happening? No, like there was this cartoon or something where they're like, we're gonna save the puppies. Yeah. Like, shut the fuck up and go save the goddamn puppies already. Shut the hell up. Stop stopping the plot. Go and do your shit. Like, half of these goddamn things, half of these musicals are just so pointless, you could sum it up in 10 minutes. In 10 goddamn minutes, and you could just have everything happen already. Instead, no, you have to have all this filler of singing, lovely dancing, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, what the fuck is this? What is going on here? This is garbage. Why am I sitting through this? Like, seriously, like, every single goddamn Disney movie that I had to sit through, I always fast forwarded the goddamn musical parts because Jesus Christ, they were great songs, but you know what? I'd rather hear it on the radio than see it in the goddamn movie because it doesn't move the plot forward. If it moves the plot forward, that's great, but I don't have to have somebody sing it to me. Just say it. Just open your mouth and say it straight up. Cut the bullshit out because it's just so goddamn stupid. I hate it. I hate it so much, and I'll leave it at that because I'm so fired up right now because this, like, musical. That is why you can have a defense.
Man, you've been going on for 5 minutes.
I'm sorry.
We have had a proper rant.
Thank you for having the patience to listen through all of it.
And the thing is, I love to provide the platform for people to do so. And before we close out here, I will give my own take on what I'd like to do in entertainment. And this is a shill for something that I'm doing this year. I'm working on a horror novel. I've about 35 pages written now. I have, if you listen to the Sunday Moist cast next week, maybe I'll give you a page. Read along.
A horror novel.
Yes, a horror novel. I am anticipating
my sister gets them down at the Five and Dimes and them Harlequin romances.
No, this is an HORRER novel.
I thought you said
no, not a horror novel. It's like I have a Central Pennsylvanian accent. It's like in the mix of fucking pencil. I'm from Pennsylvania, basically. It's hard to talk, but no, I'm working on this horror novel, and I'm maybe next weekend I plan a page read from it. On the Moist cast. It's something that I have been wanting to do for the past 3 or 4 years, but I just haven't had the time to do it. But now that I'm done with school, it's something that I am finally taking command of and doing. Basically, I will tell you the title of the novel right now. It's called 519 Richard. It's based on a street from my home, or from where I went to college. There was this fucking creepy ass old house on this street called Richard, and I am going to tell the story of that house, even though I know nothing about the house. Whenever we would go to the bars in real life, we go to the bars, we'd walk by this house, and it was just a weird, creepy ass fucking looking place. Something you'd see out of like Paranormal Activity, The Conjuring, or whatever. And we just keep walking by, and you kind of hurry on by it. You're like, don't look at it too long because people kind of get freaked out looking at it. And so I'm going to tell that story. I'm just going to make it up, but I'm basing the characters off myself and my friend group, which I talked to them, and they're just like, dude, that would be awesome. So writing the characters is incredible. And I told them all like how they're gonna die or if they're gonna die. I like you're gonna die like this, and I've also faked that they're gonna die just to see their reactions. So there might be a few deaths or everybody dies, who knows? But everybody that's character in that story is based on a friend of mine, and we're all from very central rural Pennsylvania. Just very middle class. Like we're not, it's just like we're just kids going to a state school, and then everybody moves into the haunted house, just basically being like, "Oh, the house is just dirt cheap on the rent market. Who fucking cares what happened into it?" And then let's see what happens. That's kind of what I'm going into. But I want to develop each character so people care about them. So when things do happen, they get invested, and there's like, oh shit. So that's kind of what I'm going for. That's my take on it. But so what I'm gonna do here is it's about 10:30 here, and I know Bonnie's about to start her live stream here shortly, so I'd like to pass it off to her. So I will close out my live stream here, and I would
Moist. I have one thing to say. When Proper Jeremy was starting his idea, the way he was saying how it's he's like, what the hell's going on? It sounded like kind of the setup of Cat in the Hat with Mike Myers, and I loved the visions I was getting in my head from it.
Proper's idea was fabulous.
I am insulted that you.
Proper. I just gotta say this: like Ryan Johnson wants half his audience to hate his films. You obviously want half your audience to commit suicide.
I only said like a few bits of it, but the point of the story is to unite people who hate musicals with their goddamn hearts like me and people who love musicals, and that is the point of it. We want to unite. We don't want to divide, but we want to acknowledge the shitty and ridiculous crap that is the musical genre that is garbage for the most part. But also exemplified the greatness of them and how many great songs came out of it.
If I may interject.
Go ahead, Warren. It's your stream. Go for it.
I'm trying to pull a Cecil there, but I would say I want to try to close this out here before everything else gets rolling here. I would like to thank everybody in the chat section. I've seen Bonnie. She's in here. At Dawn, Caitlin, Laura. I'm trying to think who else.
Open-minded movie man, right, Kitty?
Open-minded movie man. Thug Life Jeremy. Norway. Neophic,
Neophobic.
Neophobic. Thug Life, Riot Kitty, everybody else. Tab the Tech Man he was in here early on. I'd love to thank you guys for tuning in. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to Moist Visions Inc. We're going to be bringing you moist content all this year, and I will be giving everybody here an outro, starting with one of the original members of the Moist Cast. It is the man with a fuck ton of wiener dogs. It is the super fan, Adam Shawhan.
Thank you, everybody, for coming to this stream. It's been a blast as always. Want to also thank Coach Millhouse for jumping in because that dude is hilarious. Everybody that's been in here and in the chat, please check out each other's channels. If you enjoy what you have seen, like and subscribe, click that bell so you can get the notifications, because you are not going to want to miss what is coming from this channel. My channel hasn't got much anything. If you want to see anything, you got to check out Frank and the Shawhan Wiener Dog Clan. That is where you want to click on to the Wiener Dogs Party on. And with that, I am done. I will catch everybody on the next one.
And then I will thank my next guest, Black Angus Reviews. He is my co-host with the Game of Thrones live streams. And if you are a Game of Thrones fan, please be sure to tune in to Black Angus Reviews on Sunday. Not this Sunday, but the next. I don't remember the date. I'm sorry. This is real bad. But next Sunday, and we will promote it on Twitter, we will be talking season 2 of Game of Thrones. Season 2 of Game of Thrones. And I will pass it off to Black Angus Reviews, as always, and thank you for joining the Moist Cast.
He's got the Wait, is that my
two vibrators? 3? What?
Yep. Okay, yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say thanks for having me on, Brandon. And any of y'all that haven't, go check out my parody of the new Galaxy's Edge footage. I made an edited parody. I call it "Ride the Soining."
And he also has a recent video about the Bumblebee movie that came out, and he has a review on it. And going to our next member of the Moist Cast, a first-time joiner and a person who will be throwing up a live stream here shortly. It is Bonnie, and I would love to thank her for joining. And please, if you're not subscribed to her, please do, and please join her shortly on her live stream.
Hey, everybody. I do live streams in the morning, gaming with cheat codes. Love to cheat on video games. And then at 10:30 at night, I do my live stream with guests on the show. There's really never a topic. We just talk about whatever. And 90% of the time, it ends up becoming an age-restricted show. So come join us and have some fun.
Well, there you had it. There's where you're going to go to next, I hope. After Bonnie here, I shall now pass it off to everyone's favorite Christmas show, Jeremy. All the Christmas shows are found on Hallmark Channel, Jeremy.
He dropped the phone. No.
He dropped the phone. We will come back to Hallmark Channel, Jeremy. I would like to welcome another Aussie. I would like to welcome the Mr. Please call him Sir or Mr. Peabody.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, thank you for having me on here. It's been fun. But yeah, my channel has got bugger all in it. I do silly shit, and I tend to butcher American classic songs. So sorry.
And that is perfect. And he has a Sheltie, I think. That was the dog.
No, he's full collie.
Oh, he's full collie. Okay, great. That is awesome. Just looking at the dog over there, and that is a good looking dog. And that after that we will go to the man who has a lot of hot takes, and he has the Death Star as his profile picture. So that is saying something that he will blow your fucking takes up if he doesn't like them. It is the Mr. P channel.
Well, I would just want to say I had a wonderful time here once again on the Moistcast. I would like to say, if you haven't subscribed to each other, everybody subscribe to each other. I'm sure most of us did, but there's always like one or two who forget to subscribe. So subscribe. And everybody, I'm going to call it, well, after this, I'm going to call it a night, no more streams. And I had a ton of fun, and it was my honor to be here.
And thank you for joining us again, Mr. Pete Show,
my pleasure.
Pete channel. And I will now bring it to the outro of a very proper channel. We had a lot of improper moments tonight, but he tried to make up for it. We worked through some problems. We may not have worked through them all, but it is the president of the Council of Jeremys. It is the host of the Council of Jeremys. It is proper Jeremy.
Thank you very much for a proper show. I appreciate it so much. And I do apologize if I became a little extra, if you will, in some moments of the stream. I didn't want to disrespect anybody or like the channel or anything or interrupt anyone. I never intentionally do that. And if I do, I'll let you know. But I mean, yeah, I really did enjoy the stream. I needed to get that. I'm sorry about the 5-minute rant, by the way. I didn't know it went on so long. You kept the timer. I'm impressed. But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm dropping a video tomorrow. I'm really excited about that. It's about what my channel is going to be about, so look forward to that. and I'm going to be doing another Council of Jeremy's in about a week, a little over a week. It's going to be like the Saturday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so 3 p.m. Eastern, and wherever you are in the world. I hope you're going to be able to join in. We have an interesting. I'm definitely going to answer. I'm definitely going to have Thug Life Jeremy on for sure. That's all I can reveal. But I really look forward to it. I don't expect Jeremy to show up again, so if people are disappointed, sorry. You can only come on so many times.
The fact that Jeremy appreciates this community, especially that you. I'll just say right now, you lead it proper, Jeremy.
I do not lead anything.
You're not going to say you don't lead it, but from what we all see here, you are the leader. And keep doing what you're doing. And we love everybody. We even love your appendix.
Thank you. I do too. I do too.
And Caitlin, keeper of the Jeremys. That's great. She keeps the Jeremys. I looked on one of her tweets, her whiteboard of the Jeremys. Apparently, there's a Moist Jeremy out there, and I can tell you right now, and I will put my right hand up to God, that is not me. I have no parody account. So if there's a Moist Jeremy, whatever, that is not me. So I am honored to have a Moist something in my name. That is awesome. And with me getting off my high horse here, I will pass it off to the man, as I said earlier, that he claims to be a rookie critic, but he is not. I claim that he is at least a sophomore rookie critic. He could probably be a junior or senior critic if he would like to claim the title, but I feel like he should keep the title rookie critic. He has a 58-minute video as his third part of the trilogy of the rookie trials. Please check out parts 1 and 2 to understand what the fuck is going on in part 3. But I will pass it off here to the rookie critic.
Dude, if you ever need a job, you should definitely be an announcer or hype guy. Holy shit.
Very impressive. Hey, I'm trying to get the people fired up.
Very impressive tonight.
Ringmaster of the circus. Ringmaster.
Yeah. So I'm currently on a little channel hiatus at the moment, but I will be dropping my season 3 Rookie Critic Return trailer by next Friday, I believe. So,
and I believe the Rookie Critic had said that he towards the beginning of February. No dates will be given right now, but towards the beginning of February, I feel like the Rookie had said that he will be returning to live streaming. But please stay tuned and follow the Rookie on Twitter. Follow the Rookie Critic on Facebook, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and see when those live streams will be popping back up.
Thank you. No, the guest might be a YouTuber with 15,000 subs, not very well known in the community, but since he hasn't given a full confirmation yet, I'll just leave that a secret for the moment.
And with that secret, I think that is a great thing to end on here. So as I had said, please subscribe to Superfan Adam Shawhan, Black Angus Reviews, Bonnie, Hallmark, Mr. Peabody, Mr. Pete, Proper Jeremy, and The Rookie. And Odin's Movie Blog, who we had on here earlier as a special guest. Thank you all.
And Lethal Lightning.
Lethal Lightning.
God damn, I have so many. Lethal Lightning. Please forgive me, Lethal Lightning. Subscribe to one of our favorite Aussies down under, Lethal Lightning.
You got us all pregnant, for Christ's sake.
And don't forget Frank. Go ahead, Frank.
Oh my God, yeah, and please subscribe to Frank and the Straw Hand Wiener Dog Clan, because Frank, if he doesn't get that Wiener Dog Clan pregnant, he will get you pregnant. And with that, we will end the bonus FriYAY Moist cast. Thank you all for tuning in, and I'd love to thank all my special guests for joining me tonight. Thank you all, and have a great night.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Good night, everybody.